8.1.0. The lost steps. I'm not ready for this. I'm scared. Mentioned in the update 35 combat preview, we have also been working on improving accessibility to the game's combat by increasing the duration of outgoing ability effects. I mean, this is whatever, but the light and heavy attack changes. Recompiled many of the game's shaders, which will aid our... which will aid our art team with many of their tasks, but what this means for you is a longer load time the first time you log into update 35. With all PC, okay. What do we have? 2 new dungeons, of course. New item sets. Grave Inevitability, Light. Max Magicka, healing down Magicka. On heal with an area effect, apply minor berserk and minor resolve to healed allies for 4 seconds. If a healed ally already has minor berserk or minor resolve from a stone's accord, restore 550 Magicka. Every 5 seconds, this is bad. Like 200 mag regen. Minor resolve, minor berserk. You have access to these buffs with different like sets that are better value. So wasting a 5 piece for this is only 4 seconds to... I wouldn't say this is a good set. Yeah, Combat Prayer for example. No, they do that. Offensive pen, this is a lot of pen. Medium. Crit sense. When you deal damage with a heavy attack, create a 12 meter area for 12 seconds that grants empower to allies inside. Increasing damage of their light and heavy attacks by 1800, so it's a flat value now that you gain on lights and heavies. 1800 is it's quite a bit of damage, but there's no more like modifiers to buff this, I believe. They probably change molten armaments to policy to note later. 1800, it's Savage Werewolf if you could land it every second. This is a buff set basically. It does buff everyone. Which I don't want to call it bad, but for solo play I wouldn't get this. Deep Root Heal. Heavy. Next time, Magicka health. When you deal dark damage to a taunted target, restore 525 stamina Magicka. The effect can occur once every 2 seconds. Oh no. Oh no. I can see a few Vanguard players who are going to love this set. This is it's 1k regen basically. But no, it's 500 regen. It's alright, I suppose. But you can hold block and get this regen. Are the Vanguards gonna run this? I don't know. It's a heavy set too. Yikes. Archdruid Deverick. Offensive pen, when you deal damage with a heavy attack after 1.2 seconds deal shock damage. This actually, it's the same as Alurion roughly. Oh wait, no, this is kinda like Selene actually. Deal shock damage to up to 6 enemies within a 7 meter cone, so it's an AoE, it's an undodgeable. Applies major vulnerability for 7 seconds. Increase damage taken by 10%. Once every 15 seconds scales. Okay, this is a good set. I wanna try this out. Major vulnerability and AoE undodgeable kinda makes it worth it. Would be good on Nightblade for example, because you always open up with heavies. It could be interesting. Grave Inevitability. Wait, wasn't this one called Grave Inevitability? Or is there 2 of them? What is this one called? Crit Sense weapon, spell damage, crit sense. Dealing damage with light or heavy attack grants you a stack of Remorseless for 5 seconds. Up to 5 stacks, up to once every 0.5 seconds. While you have 5 stacks, you generate an Aura of Focus, granting you major force, increasing your crit damage by 20%. While you have an Aura of Focus, allies within 12 meters of you gain minor force, increasing their crit damage by 10%. I mean, you can just run Organ, so kind of whatever. Let me enjoy Organ Soul for a bit longer. Nocturnal Ploy seems pretty interesting. We'll get to that. This one is kinda meh. Hard to keep up. 20% crit chance, you can get this from different sources. Like, you would rather run the set that gives you major force when you use an ulti. But maybe for a group. Then again, everyone runs Race Against Time, or half the people, so giving people minor force is not that valuable. I don't know, maybe in some pre-made comp with like Resto Heavies or Lightning Heavies. Keep this up at all times, but will be interesting PV at least for a tank or maybe support DPS, maybe. Hey, what's up, Majestic Banana and Locusty, hello. Would Ursauk apply to caster too? Ursauk was this one, right? I would assume so. But they are changing lights and heavies. They have a flat tooltip next patch. Empower is 1800 flat damage. Wait, is this oh no, is this gonna be for every tick again? Or is it 1800 per one spell damage for the heavy? If it's gonna be for every tick, this is gonna be annoying. This is gonna be lightning and resto heavy set. This no. We just got rid of that meta a few patches ago. No one liked it. Terracron, what's up, how you doing? Better uptime than from Necromancer or Galenve? Yeah, and it's gonna line up with Kalurion very often. Kalurion should land afterwards, I think. Or about the same time. One Mystic, what's up, how you doing? Finally fixing PP, 200 and Volandrang now restore 2.4k stam down from 2426. Yeah, that's a huge change. I wonder what they're thinking. How much time do they spend on coming up with these new numbers? Guys, we should nerf this by 1 point. Then we'll find the optimal balance. Phylacteries grasp medium weapon spell damage, crit chance. On light attack critical damage you apply Withered Soul, dealing resist damage over 10 seconds. On light attack critical damage on an enemy with Withered Soul, restore 575 stamina. Critical damage can occur once every 10 seconds and the damage scales of the higher of your weapon and spell damage. Oof. How much damage is this? And this is a lot of sustain potentially. If you have high crit chance, if you have around 50% crit chance, then it's around 500 stam region, right? Contest requires stamina magic on light attack is called Stone's Accord instead of the duplicate of Gravy. Oh, I see, okay. Has to do with server tick time. Can you link those sets? Yeah, give me a moment. This is the that's the patch notes, and there was the sets with the like this with Polysome garbage gear. The tooltips here. Pangrit Den Motor, heavy. Healing taken armor, health regen, max stam. When you block you and up to 3 group members within 12 meters, gain minor crits for 10 seconds, increasing weapon spell damage by 2 and 15. Can occur once every 5 seconds. No, it's not really good. Not for self-buffing, for group buffing, yeah, because having this on back bar, blocking every 5 seconds, is probably pretty... Oh, every 10 seconds is not really that difficult. You don't have to block and attack, it just says when you block. You could give minor cards to people pretty easily, but is it worth it? I don't think so. Most cases you have better buffs to give to teammates, like Powerful Assault is more... This max stam is kinda meaningless. Good tank set for PvE. Is it? Are people gonna drop Powerful Assault for this? People run that on tanks, right, in PvE? Not sure. Before the Gatekeeper, Monster Mask, Stam Regen, when you use roll dodge, create a Huddled Husk after you roll. Within 5 meters of the Huddled Husk, it will absorb all direct damage attacks against you. After 1 second, the Huddled Husk explodes, dealing poison damage to all enemies within 5 meters. Can occur once every 20 seconds, scales of the higher of your weapon spell damage. Ah, okay, this one is interesting. It's every 20 seconds, that's a long cooldown. But how much is the damage? And absorbing all direct damage attacks, that's kind of like Blessed Meridia, which is not a bad set, but Blessed Meridia is 5 seconds. This one is 1 second. Was it fake or not mythic? There's no new mythics, but some interesting sets. There's one that deals damage and applies major vulnerability in an AoE after a heavy attack. Pretty broken potentially. More set is Meridia's placed armor, but better. Is it better? It's only 1 second, but it deals damage, so it depends on the damage. Run both, you could. Vigor chains? Oh no. What did they fuck up this time? Rewards for the worth it. There's more sets. PvP sets too, yeah. Timer of Buried. Weapon spell damage, crit resistance, offensive pen. Crit resistance is a pretty good stat still, defensively. 6% increased damage to blocking players. When you deal light attack damage to an enemy that is immune to crowd control, apply Languor for 10 seconds, reducing the magical recovery and stamina recovery by 208. Effect can occur once every 10 seconds. Okay, I know already who's gonna run this set. You all know who's going to run this set with fucking Vanguard. Gonna spam roots at you and make you have 0 regen. Why do they add these sets, man? Nocturnal Exploit, offensive pen, crit resistance, stam regen. When you apply a major debuff to an enemy, remove a major buff with the duration. Ooh, okay. When you apply a major debuff to an enemy, remove a major buff with the duration from the target. When you apply minor debuff to an enemy, remove minor buff with the duration from the target. Effects can both occur once every 2 seconds. This is very interesting. So you can purge the buffs from the target. It's actually pretty funny. And very toxic, by the way. Imagine being stuck spamming your armor buff. Some clown is spamming like Eledrain or something on you. It's so dumb, man. So dumb. I can tell you this is gonna be fucking annoying in PvP. It's gonna be so fucking annoying. These are a lot of circlings we run it too. Yeah, and then you have 0 buffs. You can just drop buffs from your bar entirely. Yeah, you can run like Kinwatcher with this and... It's actually very strong because if you remove Major Resolve, then what you have on the 5 piece is 5.2k penetration. That's really powerful. Offensive pen, crit resistance, stam regen, good 2 to 4 piece as well. It's gonna be meta. Still Oaken buffs? No. With a duration. Major buff with a duration. Can't steal Oaken. Yes, exactly. Does not work again. Yeah. But you can steal armor buff from your target. So it's the same as Major Breach. So if you apply Major Breach, you actually reduce someone's armor by 10k. It's really broken. This should be like 10-second cooldown. Mara's Palm, heavy. 1487 armor. Actually, this is nice on Nightblade, I think. You can guess him mark, and then 2 seconds afterwards you do super stack with minor breach. So you can just completely rip off someone's armor in not PG-18 way. Weak set then, yeah, I mean, still good though. Still fucking good. How does the set decide which buffs to remove? It's gonna be RNG, I think. But still, like, every 2 seconds you wanna be casting your armor buff every 2 seconds. Combat changes, we didn't even get to those yet. Already seen a fucking train wreck here for PvP. Imagine having a BG full of people running Nocturnal Exploit. And I think you why not change your build entirely at that point? You wanna drop the major evasion buffs, the long duration buffs. You wanna drop your armor buff. Wait, that makes Oaken better. They buffed Oaken indirectly. Wait until later in the notes. Okay. Adds 1.5k armor. 1 crit resistance, healing taken. When a negative effect is removed from you, restore 2.1k health. When you take damage or have 6 or more negative effects, cleanse all negative effects. Which one can occur once every 15 seconds? Is it the second part or is it both? Because this one is really good for Warden. You can spam your nets and you get 4k tooltip heal every time. Because you have the nets, the base heal from Animal Companion passive, and then you have this. And then automatically every 5 seconds you get 2k health. And then you have a lot of debuffs, then you get a mega cleanse. And then all the debuffs are up again the next second because that's Werewolf and no cooldowns. But still be interesting. From Tudan. Tudan's nice. Run it on Maxog. Before we talk about Trainwrecks, is there verse? So the volley is verse. Okay, template stuff. Combat and gameplay. Molten Whip's cost may not properly adjust with some hardcoded bonuses from sets on champion points. They nerf Molten Whip. As Cloud and its morphs are currently consuming resources twice immediately upon casting instead of once. Cutting defense is currently not properly broken weapon enchants or poisons. I set for stamina? Yeah, it could be. For Night Matters, gaze and nocturnal play every 2 seconds for automatic buff removal. Yeah. So Pepega. Run Oaken just to avoid having your buffs removed. Yeah. You done? What happened? Now checking the PTS notes. What's up, good? So, some pretty Pepega stuff. Nerf the ring, we'll find out. Second bar would be super strong. Mega cleanse? Yes. 50-second cooldown, but on which part? On both or just the latter? Someone run Plague Break and the next cleanse goes kaboom? Yeah, but I mean it's still good, right? Crimsforge, thank you for the follow. Thank you. Normally I'd have the notification, but not in the... I need to actually edit the display screen. Ain't that for a while. Buffed Molten Whip, so hopefully Oaken is nerfed. What the f... No, don't say they buffed DK. What if... Didn't buff DK, did they? I'm scared. You guys are trolling me. They didn't buff DK. Surely they didn't buff DK. So Pepega already? It's already bad. It's already like... You know what's gonna happen. Next patch. Also Sub-Zero, what's up? Okay, we're about to get to the combat changes. Tales of Tribute, hold on. Tribute NPCs are now a little smarter during matches. Oh, they're pretty Pepega right now. Companion chatter is now suppressed file, okay. Fixed an issue. Prevent the placement rank tribute match from updating it, okay. Fixed an issue, could cause someone to forfeit match as it starts when hitting the alt key. Fixed an issue where matches could get unintentionally interrupted. Fixed a few issues that could cause you to get stuck in the tribute activity finder queue. Okay. Okay. Fixes. Yes, okay. Keeping a close eye on Tales of Tribute and specific cards that over or underperform in the game. For update 25, we made changes to the biggest outliers when looking at how they contribute to overall win percentage. Duke of Crows, increase the gold cost of Scratch to 4 gold from 3. Okay. Lalu, increase the gold gen from Hireling to 2 gold from 1. Okay. Increase the acquire value of Oathman to 6 coin from 5. It is 6 coin right now. What the fuck? And if Hireling is 2 gold, then it's the same as Oathman. What? Oathman is OP now? Yeah, it's really good at the moment. But it's 6 coin at the moment. They say they increased to 6 coin from 5. Oh, the acquire. Oh, the combo one. Okay, so it used to be 5, the card you can get with the combo 2. Okay, I see what it means. I thought it meant the acquire value when you buy it from the tavern. Yeah, that's pretty strong. You can buy a lot of the 6 cost throws, for example. What have I missed? There's some new sets, some pretty broken ones. What's up, No Juice? How you doing? Some pretty fucking broken ones. We are still getting the combat changes. At least they're consistent. Every patch worse than the previous one. Yeah. Worse than the last one. Motto. Hype. Jam your way through. Nerf rewards material and furniture and stuff. And replaced it with just gold for the TOT. How much gold? Culling gives 1 gold, right? Yes, at the moment. So they changed it to 2 gold. Which makes Hiling worth getting as well. Usually if you have 2 gold, it's a good thing to buy early game. That's a general rule of thumb. If you can, especially if you can use the patron on the same turn, then you can get like one more 2 gold draw, and then you can make another 2 gold draw with the patron. So you increase the deck size, but you also increase the chances of buying the stuff from the tavern. Because you have more 2 gold draws than 1 gold draws. Prescience is good now as well. Really feel like it's a huge big patch. Psych Master reduce the place cost from Templars inside to 1 from 2, increase the cost to 4 from 3. It's still replace cost? I never picked this card. It doesn't give you any gold when you play it. Reduce the replace from Psych inside to 1 from 2, increase its toss to 4 from 3. This is the other one that oh, this is the contract action. Let's see. Prescience replace 1 from 2, increase the gold gen from okay, so it's the same as Prophecy now. Place from Time Master, increase the toss to 4 from 2. Okay, so you can just throw out everything from the tavern. It's interesting. Not a huge fan of the Lore Master usually, but... And I don't think these changes will make me wanna play it, but... Place in tavern, 5 cost amulet. Oh, right. Russian, increase the gold gen from Prowling Shadow to 2 from 1. Reduce the gold cost to 4 from 5. Okay, this one is good now. This one is really good actually. I would sometimes pick this up already, because it's a taunt, it can enable combos and it gets you gold. No longer has a taunt, okay, but it's good if it gives you 2 gold. Cost 4, it's a good thing to purchase. During Shadow now generates golds as a base effect and no longer has a taunt. During Shadow is the base version. So it gives you 1 gold. So this one is bad still. Or it's not bad, but it's not this one. This one's good. During Shadow to 4 from 5, okay. Cost of Drying Lullaby to 7 from 6. That's the non-upgrade version of the other one, right? Increase the gold gen from to 2 from 1. Wait, it has like 4 gold on the combo. I'm confused. Shadow Slumber now generates gold as a base effect. Oh, okay, so it's a non-combo effect now, and now you have to combo to kick people, kick agents out of the board. Then to pick Psych with Ognum. Tavern is filled with shit cards. Oh, that's also, yeah. But it can backfire. If you get the shit cards, then you're gonna have a bad time. Yeah, it's the knockout times 2, and if you combo it, it has 4 gold. It's pretty good if your opponent picks agents. I've picked it many times. Red Eagle, reduce the combo 2 power gen from Midnight Raid to 2 from 3. Okay, I don't think this is really warranted. I don't think Midnight Raid is that OP. It's good late game when you've already reduced or removed all the bad cards from your deck, and you're very likely to draw the base card with Midnight Raid. But early game, I don't think Midnight Raid is that OP. It gives you 3 power usually, most of the time, unless you get lucky, or you have contract actions on the board. Imperial Spoils now generates 1 gold on combo 2. Okay. Gold Sen from Imperial Blood. Okay, so these are more worth picking. Nightblade buffs? What the fuck? Okay, we're getting to those soon. Increase the gold cost of armory to 6 gold. Okay, this is probably very good, because now people can't pick it turn 1 or turn 2. Not as likely, at least. So I'm happy they did this. Gold cost of rally to 8 from 7. This one is a bit more on the fence. Maybe it's good, because it's a very popular card, but I don't think it's one of the... I think armory is stronger than rally. I think siege weapons... Okay, they reduced the gold send from siege weapon volleys combo to 1 from 2. Okay, good. They nerfed siege weapon and armory, but I think rally they could have let it be 7 gold. In all honesty. Reinforcements fixed. I can now be upgraded to Legion's arrival by acquiring and following a clue. Nice. And finally get the last achievement. No workroom changes? No. They wanna keep it very easy for the I'm sorry, they want to keep the game accessible. Yes, that's the word. Don't Maxrock yet? What's up, Maxar? We played Maxrock earlier, yeah. Very interesting BG. But managed to get the box from that one. Fixed an issue that prevents daily quest from granting credit when defeating NPCs of lower tribute rank for high rank players. I see. Fixed an issue that prevented you from receiving quest credit in ranked matches where your opponent concedes. This happened a lot. It's annoying. You're stuck trying to do the daily. Fixed an issue that caused the appearance of bonus master Rasamad during the... Oh, okay, I did see that bug as well. Furnishings will now be granted for Orichalcum, Ebony, Quicksilver and Void Steel. Okay. More furnishings. Double the gold found in tribute reward packs. No longer grant potions, poisons, soul gems, food or drinks. Good. Good. They fill your fucking inventory with this garbage at the moment. Reduce the chance of receiving some alchemy materials from tribute reward packs. Why? Reduce the chance of receiving furnishing patterns or cooking recipes from tribute reward packs. That's probably also good because they are usually garbage and they fill your inventory, and I have to list them for like 200 gold because I don't want to waste things. Cards are soft now. We are big happy. Some good changes. Some good changes. Winning multiple matches for Tribute Daily Quests will now grant progressively higher quality reward pack based on your victories when turned in, instead of additional bags of lower quality. This is good. I like this change. Green, blue and purple quality reward pack for 1, 2, 3 wins respectively. PP Tribute Daily Quest will offer blue, purple and gold quality. Okay, I haven't seen a gold quality one yet. I wonder what's gonna be inside. Nightblade buffs are too much. Okay, we'll get to those soon. We'll get to those in a moment. Rank tier rewards to display transmit crystal rewards in stacks of 1 instead. Okay. Gold receipt from some tribute reward packs will no longer be affected by passive bonuses. Okay, fix numerous minor visual issues. Fix an issue that would cause your screen to visibly shake while I'm playing tribute near volcanic vent. Okay, UI changes, UI stuff, okay. Achievements, okay. Quests, okay. Cool. Combat and abilities, okay. Here we go. Currently, the Nightblade's melee spammable options are a bit behind other melee spammables in terms of flavor and impact. What? Okay, as a Nightblade main, I have to say that's bullshit. That's fucking bullshit. I want you to try my build and see your points on it. We can still do that later, I think. For next stream. Sure, enjoy the accessible card gaming as Orknum gamer. Yeah. Nightblade buffs are too. Okay, let's get to those in a moment. Light and heavy attacks now deal a flat amount of damage rather than scaling with your highest offensive stats. Melee light attacks deal 2250 base damage, while ranged light attacks deal 10% less. Fully charged melee heavy attacks deal 2500 base damage, multiplied by their cast time and cooldown. 10% less for ranged. This is fucking dumb. This is absolutely fucking dumb. If you do a medium wave, you now deal less damage than you do with a light attack. How does that make any fucking sense? Its heavy attacks take 1.8 seconds. Oh, never mind, okay. So this is the base damage. Ah, okay. I just read fully charged and base damage. 1.8 seconds between their cast time and cooldown, meaning their damage dealt at base is 4500. Wow. So you can do 2.5k, 2k heavy attack. Right now you can do 6, 7, 8k heavies if you have high stats. So it's literally 4 times less than used. Medium attacks continue to scale between their light and fully charged counterpart. Final hit from Restoration and Lightning Steps can now be dodged once again. To ensure there is better contemplate at denying an opponent resources and the stronger portion of the attack. No. Why? It's already annoying enough to fight against the fucking clock spammers. Against, like, you can't sustain because their spammable is Salary Disguise, and then there's the XP1 you down. What, now you can dodge all as well? Okay, so next patch we got a build for Mega Sustain apparently. Resources restored from fully charged heavy attacks have been streamlined to grant an average of approximately 1300 resources based on their total cast time and cooldown rather than varying values with no standardization. 2H and Volendrang now restore 2425 stam down from 2426. That's very impactful. Many good changes, maybe it won't be that bad. Wait, where? Always critically strikes, what? No. Restoration stuff now restores 2900 Magicka down from 3219. Not good. 1H Shield now restores 293 stamina, up from 2014. And whatever. Ice and Inferno Staves now restore 2838, up from 2823. Wow. Double now restores 2095 stamina, up from 1798. Okay, this is pretty good for Stamblade sustain. And like having, let's say, like 200, or not 200, like 100 stam regen probably. With my playstyle at least. Bow now restores 2772, up from 2724. Okay, it's kind of whatever. Lightning Staves now restore 2970 Magicka down from 3632. Okay. Pretty impactful actually. It's a big nerf to Lightning Staves. Lightning Staff sustain. Unarmed Combat now restores 2095 stamina, up from 1600. Who cares? What the fuck? Nightblade is already freaking OP for fuck's sake now. Yeah, especially with Oakham, but I don't know about the, like, you cloak right now and you take full damage from dots, you can survive. I won't call it OP right now, but it doesn't need offensive buffs. It needs defensive buffs. Many bonuses from sets, abilities, passives to better equate for these changes, which are listed under their sourced areas. Fixed an issue where dual medium attacks could deal more damage than their fully charged counterpart in some cases. Ah, okay, that explains things. During the Greymore era, we ran a test where we refactored the functionality of light and heavy attacks, while we ended up not implementing those changes due to player feedback. There were many positive notes and remarks we took away from the change list overall. This time around we are implementing the good parts from the received feedback and avoiding the other areas. Overall we are keeping light attacks in place of the top DVS producing results, albeit at much lesser extent than what they were doing before. Heavy attacks will remain more resource driven, but now also produce significantly less DPS losses than before. The main reason for streamlining these values was to reduce the bloat of damage production they can provide at high level, reinforcing the intensity perfectly light weave to produce viable damage. Nothing wrong with that, while simultaneously retaining their damage levels at low end for those who rely on them to not be negatively affected. In doing so, we've also been able to adjust item sets that augment these effects to be much more impactful without the concern of creating higher burst potential in PvP environments. Helping accessibility in all environments. Fuck accessibility. Already mad, one creep set. Yeah. Don't be dumb. Some things are bonkers, next patch gonna be absurd, okay. They nerf Necro so much? Why did they nerf Necro at all? What the fuck? PV Stamcrow is busted right now, haven't seen the nerfs yet, so... is it more busted than Stamshock though? The question. Nerf jabs but buff surprise tag. What the fuck? Okay, we're gonna get to that soon. Adjusted player damage over time abilities to generally follow the following rules. Abilities will now last 20 seconds, up from 10 seconds. Dots now tick on a 2-second frequency rather than 2 seconds if they were a single target, and 1 second if they were an AoE effect. Oh, that's a nerf to acid spray. Why did they nerf acid spray? What's wrong with acid spray? Abilities now deal roughly 2 times the amount of damage that a normal spam bull, such as lava whip or concealed weapon, would deal, up from 1.5 times. Since they will now take longer to deal this damage, this will result in approximate 33% overall DPS decrease for dots. Good, while making them more worthwhile in long-term fights and easy to keep up. Okay, I don't mind that. Fuck dots. It's very easy, like no-brain playstyle. When you have people landing one light that can proc in 5 different sets on you. It's very annoying to fight against. So I hope they nerf the sets as well, not just the skills. Fighting dots is never fun. It's never fun experience. Unarmed, yeah. Incoming unarmed meta. Magden gets a nice nerf? What the fuck? Also, what's up, Talon? Why would they nerf Magden? Also, Fubi, how you doing? Hello. And Mario, what's up? Unarmed will be a thing in a future update. I would hope so, actually. Unarmed would be cool. Broken blades everywhere next patch. Yeah, just use what we needed. As if they weren't everywhere already. Won't confirm next class. Stamcrow. Okay, let's get to Stamcrow in a moment. Notes are fucking dubstep fire. So far I would say so, yeah. Stamcrow dead, at least in Aliker everybody says Stamcrow is dead. It kinda is in BGs as well. Stamshock is full single target, Necro does mad AoE too. Basically every group in new trial uses as many Stamcrows as possible, maybe 1 DK, I see. Don't know about PP Necro. In PP it's not too amazing. I play minus Werewolf, so I can't think of a good build that works reliably otherwise. When is Dark Lord percentage based? It's health based at the moment. Also, what's a Black Hand? How you doing? Fighting Oaken Blades, much more fun, fuck dots. I think they're both just dumb to fight against. Where is Warden nerf? We'll find out very soon. Overall cost per second of these abilities, okay. Virtual notes for affected abilities will be listed under their source skill lines, okay. In this update we're re-evaluating our damage over time standards and cleaning up a lot of the power discrepancies between them, which are stagnating diversity of weapon choice in a lot of areas. Overall, we're trying to improve accessibility of damage production in the game, while simultaneously lowering the overall maximum DPS potential when playing super efficiently. As such, we've made damage over time effects easier to keep up, in addition to more obvious winners in terms of damage production as over spammable, but now with the added caveat that they take longer to deal their damage. You know, this is actually very good. We all know the like full dot DKs currently. Like, even just ignoring item sets, hopefully they fix those as well. Just looking at the skills, like, normally there isn't that many dots on builds. But there's one exception, which is DK. And DK is really fucking frustrating to play against. Whether it's an Oaken DK, which is just broken, or it's some leap dot DK, which is also just annoying to fight against because you can't outheal the dots. Now it's gonna be easier to outheal the dots. It's a 33% nerf to dot damage basically. So engulfing flames, burning embers, stuff like that. It's gonna be easier to deal with. It's not the main issue on DK at the moment. No, that would be Oaken. Hey, what's up, Fatty? How are you doing? What happened to Stamcrow? We'll get to that in a moment. This will create situations where damage over time will have much more clear advantages and disadvantages, making them easier to decide when to use and to upkeep or counter. Adjust the power of player healing over time abilities in tandem with damage over time changes. Single target heal over time abilities now heal for 1.5 times the damage of a spammable over the duration, rather than 1.875. No, I don't like this. I think the healing right now is not enough. AoE heal over time abilities now heal for twice the damage of a spammable over the duration. almost all of these abilities will tick once every 2 seconds, rather than 2 seconds if they were single target and 1 second if they were AoE based. Almost all these abilities will now last 10 seconds in duration, while some class skills have been increased to 20 seconds, rather than varying durations between 8 and 10. What the fuck? My concern is that we won't be able to out-heal incoming damage if they do the same thing to heals as they do to damage over time effects. Like, sure, gonna be like this is gonna kinda counteract the decays and the damage over time, but it's not gonna counteract all the Oaken gankers and all the direct damage and spammables that are gonna hit you. All the fucking crystal weapons and other bullshit. So I worry about any nerf to healing. Unless there's a nerf to damage, like direct damage as well. Since damage over time has been adjusted in this update, it means we also need to re-evaluate some of our healing standards as well to ensure they feel properly balanced against one another. In order to preserve the more reactive gameplay our healer and support roles fulfill, we opted to not make healing over time effects easier to keep up in most cases, with a few exceptions with class skills. Currently healing over time feels significantly stronger than damage over time. It's supposed to. There's so much fucking damage. And no, it doesn't. When you look at Savage Werewolf and Blake Break and Sheer Venom and like all the fucking bullshit in the current patch. No, it doesn't feel significantly stronger. You can't out-heal dots in the current patch. Like, you can have your heal over times up and guess what? The dots will they will tick through that. And we're attempting to address that in a few ways. No, like, that is bullshit. Now for this to go Nightblade. Not if they don't fix the cloak issues. Dragon's Appetite with Siphon was nice, but they will nerf that. We'll get to that in a moment. Sticky healing over time effects that apply to a character will now be weaker than before, while AoE based healing over time will be ever so slightly stronger. The logic there is that AoE based healing currently feels far riskier to engage with, as it roots you to an area, making you more susceptible to burst and high damaging AoE attacks, while single target healing effects can stack much easier and allow for free range of movement. Neither of the adjustments should make healing in PvE environments terribly difficult either, as there is an overabundance of overhealing in those encounters, and the boost to AoE based healing over time should help improve some losses. Bullshit. I don't know what game they play where people like heal too much. I don't know what game they play. Sure, cross healing is an issue. When everyone is spamming heals on each other, it's an issue. But self heals should never be nerfed like this. So like Vigor is gonna be fucking garbage, for example. And things like Vines will probably be nerfed, I would assume. Heals you for 17-20% of your missing health per tick, rather than 9.2% of your max health per tick. What the fuck? No, it didn't. It's just scaled based on your max health. But maybe that's what they mean. Like the scaling is like that. 9.2% of your max health. When it came Molten in your face is fair. Oh yeah, definitely. All groups for the win. Scales with HP, so yeah, it heals. Yeah, exactly. Took care of Savage Werewolf. Okay, good. Great target dummies. Okay, I don't really care too much. Buffs and debuffs. Empower increase light and heavy attack damage by 1800 rather than 40%. I hope this doesn't. I hope this is not a flat buff to every tick of lightning and resto heavies. That's annoying. They play just PvE, yeah. Yes, it goes to Nightblade, most busted class next patch. I don't like that. Like, I don't want my main class to be overpowered, I just want it to be balanced. Please link forum. Thank you, Varun. No spoilers yet, please, but my friend just messaged me and said there are Oaken changes. Okay. We'll get to that soon. I'll just go through the things in order. So Fire Breath. Increase the duration of this ability and it morphs to 20 seconds up from 10. Reduce the damage per tick by approximately 17%. There is a nerf to the like simultaneous like the dot damage you take, but they also nerfed healing, so I don't think that's necessarily a good thing. Increase the duration of Empower grant from this morph to 10 seconds or from 3. Thank you, Sos. Nice buff to my DK. Gonna nerf himself next patch by not playing Nightblade. If it's OP, I will do 1 BG and log on to the next character. Actually, being OP last patch ruined the game for me. Yeah, kinda same. Like, now Oak and Soul and Stem Soaks are ruining it. Molten Whip, Morph. This morph now causes the ability to split the cost of to half stamina. What the fuck? What is this shit? Half stamina, half magicka. That's actually a buff to my DK too. Oh, reduce the stacking damage modus of Molten Whip to 20% per stack down from 3%. Increase the weapon spell damage per stack up to 100. Up from 75. Weapon spell damage portion of Seething Fury no longer consumed when using Molten Whip. Overall, this is a nerf to Oak and DK, and that's a good thing. Is it gonna be balanced now? We'll see. To help this ability become more available to hybrid builds, we've opted to take a very unique route with the ability where the cost is now split evenly between magic and stamina. In doing so, we hope to see more unique interactions with the skill as well as aiding more stamina-focused Dragon Knights in sustaining the skill. I don't mind this too much. It's a nerf in the burst damage, that's good. That's good. Over to it right now. Regen reduces the healing per tick of this ability and its morphs by 40%. What the fuck? I laugh at the dev comment for Oaken. Why is the game so shit? Because of changes like this. Splitting cost, or not like this, but the heal over time changes. There's smoking sauce, yeah. More dots for Stam Shock. Not all healing. Went hybridating. Splitting resource cost and ability. Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, it needed a nerf in damage, so this is good. Searing Heat. Reduce the damage bonus from this passive to 25% down. Reduce the damage done bonus from this passive to 25% down for the 3%. Searing Heat. Wait, which one? Oh, which one is that? Oh. Oh, okay. Yeah, so it's just the passive that buffs your skills. Okay, that's probably... yeah, it's probably a good thing. Healing Strike, increase the duration of this ability and morphs to 20 seconds. Reduce the damage per tick by 25%, okay. Increase the amount of healing this morph allows up to 100% of the damage cost, up from 50%. Previous reduction was made as a stopgap before this pass could be completed. Now that the ability deals less damage per tick, we feel comfortable bumping it back up. Okay, that's fair. I don't mind this. Goldblood, what's up? Just doing an Amber Third right now. Yes. The more dots for Stem Shocks, got all healing. We didn't get to Stem Shock yet. Might give Stem Sustain issues, I don't know, Pepega. It probably will for the Oaken DK, but let's see what else they do to Oaken, because this whole build might not be playable. The nerf is even worse, so no point running Vigor, I guess. Venomous Claw, this morph now increased damage down per tick by 9 to 12% down from 17 to 20% as it now stacks up for longer to a higher value. Okay, the last tick of this skill will probably hit really hard. Like overall it should be buffed still, right? Not sure. Draconic Power, Dark Talons. Reduce the cost of this ability and the Burning Talons morph to 3700 down from 4000 to help them be slightly more accessible in usability and to better account for the fact that the Immobilize may fail in many cases. They didn't nerf the dot damage of Talons. Reduce the cost of this ability and morphs to 3500 down from 4000. Originally this was higher in the cost to account for the fact that this initial hit damaged and healed, but since these values are each half of an AoE's base attack, it wasn't gaining additional ability functionality which dictates the cost. So we are easing it back make up for this oversight. Okay. Hey, what's up, Kodak? How you doing? Missed the start of, can you start over? No. Hi streamer, how goes the patch note reading? Rumor has that Chuck Norris actually called you to make sure it was okay for him to take the throne in the meme scene. Any truth to this? No, I can't confirm nor deny. Where's the Stonefish buff? It could use one. Hey, what's up, Imp? How you doing? We'll get to the Nightblade changes in a moment. Also, shout out. Nightblade's melee spamble options are a bit behind other melee spambles in terms of both flavor and impact, so we're adjusting both morphs to give some love. Brightacre's morph option reinforces the need for positioning as an assassin and continues to add some minor damage with the standard proc, while Concealed Weapon retains its stealthy and agile emphasis with less restrictions and more reward for playing from the shadows. What the fuck? Proc 6 is? No. No. They're different people. What do you think about Spirit Guardian now? Whoopie, they nerfed it? They polyed it, they nerfed all heals. They're fucking retards. They could have just nerfed the dots and kept the game as it is healing wise and it'd be fine. Protective Plate increased the duration of the snare and immobilization immunity to 4 seconds up from 2. Okay, it's probably good. It's not a very like commonly used skill. If they buff this morph, like that's probably good for the overall. Like the armor, this ability and its morphs now deal flame damage rather than magic damage. Increase the duration of damage over time to 20 seconds up from 10. Reduce the damage per tick of this morph by approximately 33%. Okay. They didn't nerf the damage return of volatile. It's interesting. This ability and its morphs now last 20 seconds up from 15. Now tick once every 2 seconds rather than once every second. Increase the cost per tick of Ash Cloud and Cinderstorm to 630 to match the frequency adjustments. Oh, so this is a nerf with the cost reduction. You can no longer make it 0 cost. Proceed with patch notes faster once you're... Yeah, we'll get through them. You can clip it and send to source immediately. FBI open up moments. Surprise tax is bad. I don't think surprise tax needed any buffs. Good news for Decimus, they nerf Ironblood. That's not good news though, like I think they should buff it. Like what's wrong with Ironblood? Y'all hating on Nightblade, wait next patch to start calling for nerfs? I will call them before next patch. Increase the healing per tick of this ability by approximately 94%, so it's about the same healing as before. So Ash Cloud is probably gonna replace Regen or Vigor. This ability and Cinderstorm now take 1 extra time over their duration. Okay. Increased healing per tick of this ability by approximately 88%. Wait, they buffed the healing? Oh, okay, so... Hopefully it's not on top of the 94%. Raise the cost per tick of this morph to 315 down from 378 to ensure it costs a similar amount of other dots. Increase the damage per tick by approximately 7%, okay. Again, like, it's not really used often, so... That's fine. 4.5k crit on crit by Nightblade through Ironblood. Yeah, it's dumb right now. All the Oaken Gankers, cringiest builds in the... Some of the cringiest builds in the game. This morph now extends the duration of effects to up to 60 seconds, up from 45. Okay, no one's still gonna run that. Morph now grants the caster Empower for the duration of the effect, but then increasing damage of the heavy attacks by a unique value. It's probably a buff overall, I'd say. You don't do a lot of heavy weaves usually on DK, but this is for double bar DK, not for single bar. It's a nerf to the heavy attack builds, of course. Makes sense. This ability and its morphs now deal flame damage rather than magic damage. Okay, that's actually a nerf because you don't get the minor magicka still unless you slot a absorb magicka glyph. Six seconds Igneous. Igneous weapons. This is the brutality and sorcery buff. Ironblood and Rallying Cry proc and still get 30k damage from heavy attack DK. Yeah, damage is overtuned right now. Boneyard. Stability and smurfs now tick every 2 seconds, over 20 seconds rather than every second over 10 seconds. Increase the damage per tick by approximately 21%. So they nerfed the damage of Boneyard. Fixed an issue where this ability's bonus visual effects for consuming a corpse would fail to play. I don't think they need to nerf Boneyard. That's a ground AoE, you can just walk out of it. What's the point of nerfing the damage? That's dumb. Passive now increases your crit chance by 4 to 8% per ability slotted, up from 2 to 4. Okay. Kinda irrelevant. No one fills their bar with Gravelord skills, but I guess this is overall a pretty good buff. Or decent buff. For the Harmonic Crow, for example. You have Graveyard and you have Blast Bones, at least. Rapid Rot. This passive now increases your damage done with damage over time effects by 5 to 10%, down from 7 to 15%. Oof, that's gonna sting on Werewolf. But they probably nerfed the Werewolf Bleed too. The changes are for the most part the same everywhere. You can skip them. No, I don't want to skip things. I wanna go through everything. Token Siphon. This ability and smurfs now tick every 0.666 milliseconds over 20 seconds, rather than once every 0.333 milliseconds over 12 seconds. Increase the damage per tick by approximately 30%. Okay. Still a nerf to damage. Skeletal Mage. This ability and smurfs now last 20 seconds, up from 16. Reduce the cost of this abilities to 2900, down from 4320. That's a good sustain buff. Increase the radius of this blast damage to 5 meters, up from 4. Okay. Increase the damage done per stack to up to 15%, up from 5%. This might be buff actually overall in damage for Stamcrow. Dark Rain, yes, this is Zero Funk. Dead Side. Hungry Side. Morph. The heal over time from this morph now lasts 10 seconds and ticks once every 2 seconds, rather than lasting 5 seconds and ticking once every second. Increase the heal over time to... Oh, okay, this is a big buff to... This is a really big buff to... Goliath, like max health. Necro, whether Stamcrow or Matscrow. 6.2% of your max health. If you have 80k health, that's a lot of healing. It's a lot of healing. This is interesting. Gonna make the meme crow not so meme crow. With the Lady Thorn and whatnot. Ability and smurfs Minor Maim now lasts 10 seconds, up from 5. Minor Maim to 15 seconds, up from 7. Okay, that's kind of whatever. Increase duration of Empower to 10 seconds, up from 5. That's kind of whatever. Empower for pets now increase their damage and healing potency by a flat 1000, but then 40%. Empower can now target blast bones as well. Okay, it's not a huge deal. Only 1000. Like this is whatever. 4800 HP every 2 seconds. Yes, that's a very good heal. And for 10 seconds, so you don't need to spam it. Very interesting. Even when not in Goliath, when you have 50k health. When you have 50k health and you heal for 6.2% of your max health, that's like what, 3.8k heal every 2 seconds. That's the same as like what radiating used to be, pretty much. Post healers, but they nerfed things, didn't they? Restoring Tether. This ability and smurfs now tick once every 0.666, down from once every 0.333. Increase the healing per tick by approximately 81%, so they buffed the Tether heal. But Spirit Mender reduced the healing per tick of this ability and smurfs by approximately 48%. It's an issue where this ability and smurfs could sometimes lose a tick of healing cast. It's not good. That's not good. It's already rough to survive on Harmonic Crow. So next patch you probably wanna go for max health builds, but it's fucking boring. How are you gonna survive next patch if your Mender, instead of doing 10k heals, it's gonna do fucking 5k heals every 2 seconds? Fix an issue where the transfer damage from this morph was not applying to Guardian's health, circumventing the risk of the ability ending early in situations. You are taking a significant amount of damage over the duration. It will now die after absorbing 3000 total damage. Oh wait, it's 10% of your damage taken, so they would have to take 30k damage. It's still gonna die very early, I think. In most cases. Was still dead, totally shit now. It's probably not shit to compare to like Radiating Regen and all the other shit. You know, because they ruined everything, but survivability for Necro as well, like it's gonna be down in the gutter. You can take up to 30k damage over its duration before it will perish. Okay, people might go for the damage reduction morph next patch, because they nerfed the other one. I told you. Nightblade, okay, here we go. Here we go. Hey, what's up, Ramiro? How you doing? Nightblade gets 100% crit on surprise attack, free roll does. What the fuck? This morph now causes execute scaling to change to a linear increase of up to 400% damage down to targets under 50% health. But then the static 300% damage down to targets below 25% health. The heal from this morph now scales off your highest offensive stats rather than max health. Okay, I mean, how is this different from Executioner? And which one deals more damage? I don't get this change, they just turned this into Executioner, it's the same, it used to be unique. It was like, it was only worth casting if you were below 25% health. Now it's Executioner, basically. Don't know what the point is. 50% execute range, very nice, not Impale Morph. No, just Killer's Blade apparently. Base was higher than Executioner, if I recall correctly. Yeah, if they didn't change that, then this is just a better Executioner, so you probably wanna run this on Dual Template. Even though it's not undodgeable, it's maybe the damage makes it worth it, you know. Nightblade, the new god class. Let's see if they fix Cloak. And not being able to heal is gonna be rough. Blur. This ability and morphs now reduce the cost of your next roll dose by 10%. Whenever you take direct damage, stacking up to a maximum of 100%. What? Reduce the duration of this ability and morphs to 20 seconds. Okay, bye bye Elude. Okay, we're going back to... Actually no, we can't. Elude is there. Elude is there because we have we need the major expedition. Maybe we don't run major expedition. Maybe you say fuck it and have the Mirage. Get that little stem sustain from 3 dodge rolls. So you take Light Axe all the time. Light Axe and just random direct damage. And if you can make your dodge rolls free, that's pretty damn strong. Even 10% cost reduction is quite significant. If you look at here, a 5 medium build, right? You can see the dorsal cost here. Pretty expensive usually. We have some well-fitted on, I think. Yeah, we have 6 well-fitted. So it might not be that expensive in this case, but when you have Impen, it is pretty expensive to dorsal, even in medium. 1800, so you basically get 300 stem regen if you spam in dorsal. And you take like 1 direct damage hit in between, but you probably take more than 1. So it's probably worth a ridiculous amount of stem sustain. So this change already is kinda dumb. We didn't need more volleyballs and more dotsol spam. We need less of that. And they just make it easier to spam dotsols. Like who asked for this? And who thought Mirage was a bad skill in the first place? As an edgy name, it does. Executioner is physical, if Killer's Blade poison damage. It's disease damage, I believe. Nightblade finally getting some damage. Oof. This ability and morphs now once again cost 2700 magic rather than having no cost. These abilities will now heal you to full health when a marked enemy dies to sweeten the risk-reward gameplay. This heal ignores Battle Spirit but does not ignore other healing reductions or bonuses. Okay, increase the duration of Major Berserk granted to 10 seconds up from 5. Since the morph no longer increase healing done as that would be unnecessary. Okay, I mean that's fine. It's actually a buff for Nightblade. Because you probably can't sustain this and Merciless and all the other magic stuff on Stamblade. Mirage Roly-Poly God tier? Yeah, I don't like that. I don't think that's good for the game. You think like, oh I'm gonna have the most broken build, haha, I will spam dodge soul and never die. You know what, other people are gonna do the same. And it's gonna be really fucking frustrating to fight that. Why, I don't think that's a good change at all. Like, I would like better heals, being able to avoid dot damage when cloaking, but I would also like to see nerfs to cloak. So you can't just spam it. That's just cringe gameplay. Drop Velvet for Invigoration. Potentially, yeah. Race against Time plus Mirage. So how patch notes are? Trash? Worse than you'd imagine. Trust exchange? Yeah, in a moment. Increase the duration of damage over time to 20 seconds up from 10. Reduce the damage per tick by 23%. Okay. I am, yeah, Lotus fan. Still an AoE minor vulnerability, so it's good for bombing, but... No Savage for streaking pussies? I hope so. I hope they nerfed at the ground. Global 24/7. Shadow, Aspect of Terror. This ability and morphs now apply major coverage to enemies hit for 10 seconds. Increase the target cap of this ability to 6 up from 3. Mass Hysteria, this morph now removes the target cap from the ability. Manifestation of Terror, this is the trap morph. No longer fires 2 traps, instead fires 1 trap at your target location, as it was allowing you to effectively double the target cap and step on both morph distinction of Mass Hysteria. Reduce the duration of the traps to 20 seconds down from 1 minute. Reduce the duration of the fear to match the base ability. Reduce the cost of this morph to 3200 at rank 4, down from 3800. This morph no longer summons a pet for a brief second to fear the target, and now instead immediately fears the target to reduce situations where it could fail to go off. Okay, it's still garbage. Still a bad skill. Guess about dodge, just run a spin, flake and dodge easy fix. Yeah, but they're out of your range because they have triple swift and spam cloak. So you can only try to hit them with range skills. This ability and morphs now last 20 seconds, up from 10. Please now tick once every 2 seconds instead of once every second. They now apply their effects instantly, rather than after a delay. Reduce damage per tick by approximately 29%. Reduce the healing per tick by approximately 3%. Okay. This morph now heals you for 70 to 20% of your missing health per tick, rather than 9.2% of your max health per tick. This is hold on. So if I have, let's say, 50k health. If I have 50k health, if I'm missing 40k health, then 20% of that is a fucking... No, percent. What the fuck? $8k, okay. If I have 40k health, then 9.2% is 3.7k, so you can get double the healing if you're low health. I don't think this is a good thing. I think there should be a patch note. We allow Shadow Disguise to negate dot ticks again, and I think they should keep Dark Cloak as it fucking is. I played with the dodge shield mythic. It's probably still not worth it, but hey, worth trying, I think. Boswork's nerfed at least. So much. Tamsuk is dead again. Good. Hopefully not dead, but like nerfed, because it's overtuned. When I say stem sork, I don't say ranged sork or bow sork. Melee one is also mega busted. Perhaps more so in many ways. 8000, yeah. I don't think they need to buff Dark Cloak either. I think Dark Cloak is just fine as it is. But is it weaker if you don't build for max health? Let's say you have a 30k health. And let's say you're missing 20k. Then minus 20% you get a 4k tooltip heal tick. But is this every 2 seconds now, instead of every second? They change how heals work. But this might be a nerf overall to Dark Cloak. Which also wasn't really warranted, I think. Players realized Onion Bowsock and Savage Wolf gonna get found again, hiding corner like 2 months ago. Yep. Oh, they find some new carry. Summon Shade. This ability in Smurfs now lasts 20 seconds rather than ranking up between 12 and 18 seconds. Increase the damage per hit of Summon Shade and Shadow Mess by approximately 16%. Reduce the cost of this ability and Dark Shade morph to 2900 down from 4000. Okay, this is a big sustain buff to anyone running Shadow Mets. Or never mind. It's for the Dark Shade morph. Reduce the damage per hit of this morph by approximately 25%. Okay, well, that was kinda unwarranted, I think. Belt Strike, surprise attack. This morph now also always critically strikes when flanking an enemy. Well, this is dumb. This is really fucking dumb. They didn't need to buff surprise attack. There was no fucking reason for this. Concealed weapon. This morph now passively grants minor expedition while solid, instead of increasing your movement speed by 25% while in sneak or invisible. Morph now also increase your weapon spell damage by up to 300 for 15 seconds after leaving sneak or invisible while in combat. Hi? Apparently the Nightblade's melee... Oh, I think we read this. I think we read this a few times. This is dumb. No. Scratch all of this shit. Scratch all of this. And the fucking blur change. Scratch this one too. Just no. Nightblade doesn't need this shit. Nightblade doesn't need any fucking buffs like this. You know what would be nice? What would be nice is being able to survive the dot ticks. And all the like bullshit zerging at the moment, which you can't survive because guess what happens when you cast Invis Cloak? You know the assassin skill, not the cringe fucking healing skill that they wanna buff in some cases. You know what happens when you cast Invis Cloak right now? You still take damage. You still take damage from almost every fucking dot in the game. So how about instead of making stupid changes, just make the class fun to play. Seems really fucking Nightblade main. They didn't need to buff any of this shit. Witness morphs now last 20 seconds up from 10%. Reduce the damage per tick of these abilities by approximately 23%. Morph now also reduces the cost of ability to 2700 down from 2900. Okay. Malevolent Offering, Healthy Offering, increase the duration of minor mending to 10 seconds up from 8. Okay, we're gonna be spamming this because they apparently nerfed Vigor to the ground. From what I understood. So you're even less likely to survive after you cloak. Stygian Baseline, let's go. Yeah, apparently. Surprise attack is a bit behind other spambles. Did they ever play Skulls from Necro? Did they ever play any class besides perhaps DK? And well, Jabs... I don't want to call Jabs better than Surprise Attack, I know. But like Burby's verse, it's one of the best spam balls right now, if not the best spam ball. They are Mong, yeah. They are very Mong. Nightblade main, very bad for that. Yeah, if he thinks Nightblade needs some offensive buffs right now, he's not a very good player. He probably plays Oak and Ganker right now. Probability, what is that? We don't need that. Let's just buff damage. Damage go brr. People die, insta dead. Very fun. Thinking, yep, Nightblade spam ball, not good for. Would use that. Yeah, who would use it now? Who would use surprise tag? Did throw my new gold savage werewolf back into trash anyway? Okay, I'm looking forward to that patch note. I'm sorry to anyone who just called it out the set, but that shit is overtuned and it's probably a good thing it's nerfed. These are some bullshit patch notes. Reduce the damage of this ability by 41.5%, so that it now deals 130% of a range spammable attack between both attacks rather than 200% of a melee spammable. Thank you. Thank you, they actually realized their fucking mistake. Create a problem, then fix a problem. I'm not gonna thank them for that, but I'm glad they realized this. You created problem, now you fixed it. Then again, I would probably prefer the original crystal weapon that dealt like normal spammable damage that could be used as a backloaded burst as well, over some double tick spammable weird thing that you're still probably gonna run on Stamshock. Reduce the cost to 3k from 3400 to make up for the above adjustments. In the previous update, we wanted to help reinforce the uniqueness of this morph by giving sources the ability to change their rotation by having a spam ball that persists through other ability activates. While we succeeded in this, not adjusting the damage of the morph caused it to spiral out of control in terms of raw DPS and burst potential. Who would have thought? Who would have thought that giving a spam ball feisty tooltip basically would make it OP? That's shocking. A shocking revelation. It's not like you have another morph that gives you 66% on the next skill. And you have to proc that, it's not even a guarantee. It's not like you had a 35% proc chance giving you 66% on the next one. That you could have used as a baseline to like compare things to. After spending a lot of time and testing, we believe we've hit the sweet spot where the morph brings something unique and powerful without being too over the top. They could have done this testing before buffing it in the first place. How about that? How about that? Hey, what's Spencer gets it? They should add when you press cloak, you instantly die. Oof. Did they realize how often you get hit by flanking damage because of fucking positioning desync? They don't. You don't have to survive via cloak when there is no savage werewolf anymore. I think there's still a lot of dots that will out-damage the nerfed healing over time. And all the direct damage as well. Calorie not touched. Oof. They really want a Nightblade patch, huh? They nerf his sap? We'll find out. Daedric Mines fixed an issue where this ability and morphs could detonate instantly on target multiple times. Oh no, poor Onion. They nerfed Onion, what? What the fuck? Damage go burr, yes. Nerf Plague though, sort of. Hold it. Bowshock nerfs, good, yeah, I don't... The only ones who will be sad about this are the people getting carried by this right now. Create a problem, fix a problem, yeah. That's the ZOS modus operandi. 100% buff to crystal into 100% nerf. Now it's useless, imbue instead. It's not useless, you still... does 130% between both attacks. So if you weave this with Executioner, it's better than weaving like another spammable with Executioner. That makes sense. But it's still good, it's more balanced. And that's good. I don't mind that. Short cooldown window where target can be targeted again from the mines to prevent moments of immense instantaneous burst. This will also mean your mines will no longer detonate without dealing any damage to a target, vastly improving the viability of this ability in long-term encounters, where a single enemy may walk through the area. Okay. Dark Exchange. This ability and its morphs now restore their resources in increments of 2 seconds over their duration, up from 1. Reduce the healing of these abilities to 8000, down from 8090. Okay. Morph now increase the amount of healing and resources restored rather than reducing the cost. As a result, the cost is now 3200, up from 2100. Now heals up to for up to 10,000, immediately restores up to 4500 magicka and up to 3000 magicka over time. But then 8.1k health, 3600 magicka and 2400 magicka over time. Interesting. You're gonna need a lot more stam sustain on Maxog now. But it's more impactful. I don't know what to think of this. Only a buff overall. Having a bit better heal. This is a 10k tulip heal. Pretty impactful. Increase the cost of this morph to 2700 up from 2400. This morph now also causes the secondary resource to return over 10 seconds, return 20 seconds. Okay, so this is a nerf to Stam Soak as well. Because very often you're spamming this skill to get your like instant resources back, right? So getting the resource back over 10 seconds, constantly refreshing this 10-second duration. Actually no, it ticks faster, it ticks for more as well. Maybe it's not a nerf, but we'll find out. It's only a little bit more expensive, so I think this is a buff dog deal as well. Fucking revelation, yes, wait, what got deleted? The beta streams first. Oh yeah, you can write the V word. Twitch doesn't like that. Don't write forbidden words. Yeah, what's out? No fun allowed. Fun police, yeah. Dodge. Stability and Bound Aegis morph now also grant minor protection for 10 seconds after casting. Ah, okay, not Bound Armaments. Bound Aegis, this morph now extends the duration of the effects as well. Block mitigation now lasts for 5 seconds and the minor protection now lasts 20 seconds. Okay. Reduce the damage per hit of this ability by approximately 38%. This ability no longer passively increases your light attack damage. We're bringing this morph down to match a lot of the hybrid adjustments that the class has received. It was originally intended to help give Stamina Sources a powerful option of a DPS skill, since they couldn't use any of the other shiny abilities such as Haunting Curse or Crystal Fragments. Now that those can be properly utilized on any build, this ability was enabling too much power that could be dumped at moment's notice when used in tandem with even just one of the others. Crystal Weapon, yes, it's overtuned, but one damage you have to compare to like Bowproc or Nightblade. I don't think the nerf is really warranted. But yeah, I don't like this one. I don't mind the Crystal Weapon nerf. I'm very happy about that. They balanced it with Crystal Frag. But Bound Armaments, is there a reason to shot this? 38% nerf is huge. PvP. User gets redacted. Bound Aegis might be good now, 40% block mitigation. Yeah, they increased the duration by a bit. But by how much? Hold on. This is some random build, don't... It's random. Right now it's 3 seconds, okay, that's a big buff. The duration. And I believe you can stack it with the... Just the block mitigation. Oh, this one. You can get 35% more block mitigation for 6 seconds. Yeah, when you activate it. So you can mega tanky stuff with Bound Aegis and the heavy armor skill potentially. Non-savage Wolf Stam Shock getting slapped. Yeah, I mean Crystal Weapon is overturned. Armaments, I will probably just replace the armaments with Curse as a result of this. I don't agree with this nerf. And gotta find something to run on Max Shock as well. One was just melee restricted. Big nerf for PV Stam Shock overall, apparently. Not like Immobile. Bound Aegis no movement speed penalty. True, Immobile is not really it's not really a good skill overall. Like minor protection from this as well. So you have Hurricane already on this block, right? I could actually try this on the max health Zork. Block mitigation, bound, maybe or like bound ages plus battalion defender or something like that. On a melee stam Zork, max health. That could be very interesting. Thermoflux Zork incoming, yeah. Conjured Ward, Empowered Ward. This morph now also grants you an ally's minor endurance as well. Okay, it's a decent buff. The Summon Storm Atronach. Reduce the duration of this ultimate as it morphs to 15 seconds down from 21 seconds. Base cost has been increased to 275 up from 200, but reduces in cost back down to 200 when at rank 4 of the base ability. Okay. The Synergy Charge Lightning now goes to the Synergizer and 5 nearby allies in a 12-meter radius rather than the Synergizer and the Atro itself. This effect only targets players, as pets will inherit the owner's bonuses naturally. Greater Storm Atro now increase the damage of the Atro's single target attack by 30% rather than increasing the duration of the summon. Okay, this could be some damage. The Atronach from this morph now only uses its AoE attack rather than a mixture of single target and AoE. Increase the frequency of the attack to once every 2 seconds. Ah, okay, so they buffed Atro. The damage from this... let's find a build. Why do I have negate there? No clue. The damage from the AoE is actually pretty good. Every 2 seconds. Yeah, it's 10k tulip every 2 seconds. That's pretty good. Pretty damn good. And even if it was doing the single target attack, it's 5k every second, right? So it's gonna deal the same damage as an AoE, just guaranteed. The duration is gonna be less, but usually people move out of the area, so I think this is a buff overall. Buffing Atro, who needs this? Not sure. I already run Atro, I think it's a great ulti. It's delayed, so you can land it at the same time as Shriek and Crystal Weapon and Executioner. This ultimate is currently persisting for too long and creating scenarios where certain builds can get multiples of these impactful pets out, and producing significantly more damage than any other ultimate in the game in relation to its cost. With the reduced duration, it's now much more ranked. I'm dumb. Reined in while isn't this without the I'm not sure. I'm Pepega. While bringing more group utility with the improved synergy granting. Additionally, we've reinforced the distinction of its morph, where the Charged Atronach provides much more AoE damage, while Crater focuses on single target melting. Okay, so this one does more single target damage. Only 33% or 30%. Bixby, what's up? How you doing? 98.5% block mitigation with bound ages, bracing anchor, and defensive stance. Sounds balanced. Sounds very balanced. 80% is cap right, 40% bound ages, 20% ice staff, 14% from heavy. It's multiplicative with each other though, so keep that in mind. So like base, it's like one. I can do it with calculator, but you wind up with like 98 point something. Earth and light now radiating region. Is it? Let's find out. I don't mind healing buffs. We need more healing, more survivability. I've reduced the damage per hit of this morph's base attacks by approximately 33%. Reduced the cost of the special ability for this morph to 2700 down from 29. Increased the bonus damage to targets above 50% health to 60% up from 53%. Okay, some PvE change I guess, because no one uses it in PvP. They are changing it because of the meme Broken Soul video from last BTS. Tells you how bad they are. Wait, are they? I don't know if people run that in PvE or something, but I tried Petstroke in BGs, it was terrible. Really bad. Tried to spam Atros, but it wasn't good. Lightning Form. This ability morphs now tick once every 2 seconds rather than once every second. Increased damage per tick by 100%, so this stays the same as it is. This morph now increases in damage by 12% per tick, up from 8%. Along with the frequency adjustment, this will reduce the total maximum to 120% down from 160%. Okay. Its ability and morphs now deal damage every 2 seconds over 20 seconds rather than every second over 10 seconds. Increase the damage per tick by approximately 21%. These abilities now properly tick 1 tick. Okay. Templar. Overall shock changes, besides the armor's nerf, I think they're pretty good actually. I don't mind this. Nightblade changes are fucking pepega. But shock changes, good. Burning Light. This passive now triggers after dealing damage with any attack rather than only Adric Spear abilities. Okay. Now we're talking. Increase the cooldown of stack generation to 500 milliseconds up from 1 millisecond. Reduce the damage of the proc by approximately 33%. Okay, but we can proc this on range bar now. We can javelin beam, and the beam is gonna proc the burning light. Gonna be beautiful. Completely Nightblade. Fuck the red gem. Yeah, no, I don't like the current state of Nightblade. I think I'm gonna like next patch even less. Currently this passive is strong arming the Templar into only using puncturing strikes as your spammable ability, removing a lot of the potential for other abilities that center on different gameplay. Thank you, I said this years ago. That they should allow any Templar ability. They made it proc from any ability, but I mentioned they should make any Templar ability able to proc this. Wait, Oh, this is not even any direct damage, this is any dot damage as well. Yikes. Yikes, that's gonna be toxic. I don't know if I like this. It's gonna buff my range bar, but fuck. Imagine having some dots on you and fucking burning light goes off non-stop. It's a nerf actually? I don't think so. 33% sure, like it's less damage, but for a range bar you put some dots on target and it doesn't stack as fast, but the cooldown, yeah, every half a second. And it's 4 stacks, so in every 2 seconds you can get a burning light proc basically, if you play a dot build. That's strong. Any attack rather than damage, so it might not work with dots. With any yeah, but dots are attacks as well. I don't know, we'll have to find out. The abilities center on different gameplay, while with maintaining the original identity of keeping up the pressure against your primary target, we've removed the restrictions of damage source completely. Okay, completely. So it's not direct damage, it's not dot, it's any damage. Added a longer cooldown window to reduce burst potential and message spam on the server, helping the passive stabilize to a more expected power budget, while vastly improving its flexibility. Also, what's up, Sir? Hello. About to delete. No one can blame you. I think this is a buff. I think we're gonna find this a buff once you play around with it. Left to traditional pla, potentially, yeah. Less burst damage from Templars because of Burning Light. I don't mind that either. I think Templars with Oaken are pretty fucking annoying. They will toppling you, they will spam their little sweeps with Crescent, and you will die in very fast if you don't get out of range. It's very oppressive to fight against. I think reducing the damage in those situations is fine. But also I don't know about like fighting dot plars who proc Burning Light non-stop. I don't know if that's gonna be fun. Disability and Smurfs now hit 3 times over a channel time of 800 milliseconds rather than 4 times over 1 second. Oh, this is a good change actually. It makes it easier to weave functionary strikes and you don't have to land as many jabs. Implement new animations and visual effects to match the attack cadence. Reduce the cost of its ability and puncturing sweeps morph to 2300 big sustain buff, down from 2700. Reduce the overall damage of the primary attack by approximately 21%, since this ability no longer incurs a DPS loss while weaving within the 1 second global cooldown window. Makes sense. So you still have the same damage. Because it's shorter duration. Increase the damage of the AoE hits by approximately 7%. Reduce the duration of the snare to 0.5 seconds per hit, down from 1 second. Okay. Reduce the healing of this morph to 33%, down from 40%. Kinda in line with the other healing nerfs. Not sure if I like that. I don't think I do. Fix an issue where this morph was only healing up to 5 times in large target count encounters instead of the internet 6 times. Biting jabs, this morph now also increased the damage of the AoE portion of the attack by 25%, in addition to base 7% damage increase. Okay, that's a nice little Templar buff. I don't mind that. Don't mind that at all. Is it faster with jabs on life? Yeah. But they also buff jabs. There's a lot of AoE damage now. 25% is a pretty big buff. Light Beam gives you passive damage now, even while on defense. I mean, it does that already, right? On life. It's just with the jabs you have a 1 second cooldown. So you couldn't like queue up the light attack, and you would land light attacks a bit more infrequently compared to builds using different spammables. No Oaken. Okay, let's see Oaken changes. Fear Shots. This ability and morphs now deal damage over every 2 seconds. Once every 2 seconds over 20 seconds, rather than once every second. In typos. Over 10 seconds, increase the damage per tick by approximately 33%. Okay. Profound Light. This morph's heal now ticks every 2 seconds over 10 seconds rather than every second over 6 seconds. Reduce the healing per tick by approximately 12%. That's not a huge nerf, at least. Hey, what's up, Dogman? How you doing? Buffed for range buff for sure, if you have enough dots. Yes. Would be interesting. Cold Flare. Increase the duration of Empower granted from this ability and Dark Flare to 5 seconds up from 3. This is also buffed to... actually not necessarily, like 40% on light attacks. Maybe it's a buff. Kinda hard to say. You won't do heavy attacks on range plow, but... is 1800 on light attacks a buff for range plow or not? That's a good question. This morph now lasts 20 seconds up from 8. Reduce the damage per tick by approximately 24%. Okay, good. The damage visual effects for this morph now only pulls when successfully dealing damage rather than all the time. Okay. It's on fire. This ability and morphs now last 20 seconds at base up from 10. Reduce the damage per tick by 25%. Morph now increase the duration of the effects by up to 10 seconds, up from 4. I wonder if the crit chance is also gonna get longer duration. I hope so. How are you? Doing great, doing great. We're going over the patch notes. Still quite a bit to go through. Can't even type a sentence. No, they can't. There's some pretty bigger stuff. Especially the Nightblade changes and the item sets, but I don't mind the Templar and Rock changes. Like, these are pretty sensible. Cleansing Ritual. This ability and its morphs now last 20 seconds up from 12. Abilities will now take 1 extra time over their duration, reduce the healing per tick of this ability and extend Ritual by approximately 3%. Okay, it's not a huge nerf. Reduce the damage per tick of this morph by approximately 52%. What the fuck? Morph now increased by 12% damage per tick, up from 5. Okay. Well, no one runs this. Increase the duration of Minor Expedition granted from this morph to 10 seconds, up from 5. Okay. The Restoring Aura, this ability and Radiant Aura morph now grant minor endurance for the intellect to you and nearby allies for 20 seconds, rather than applying minor magic steel to enemies. It still will passively grant these buffs for slotting the ability as well. Okay. So you can buff your allies, but No more minor magic still. That's kind of weird. Radiant Aura also extends the duration of its effects to 60 seconds. OP change? Wait, which one? To be honest, with Rest to Heal nerfs, Hasty Prayer might be decent in comparison. Hasty Prayer, that's the burst heal though. Restoring Aura. If you can find space for this. I don't use. This ability, Radiant Aura, so it's not for repentance. Minor endurance, fortitude, intellect. Doesn't cost anything, it's a free skill to you. It could be interesting. Animal companions. Advanced species, this passive now increase your armor pen by 500 to 1k per animal companion skill slotted, rather than damage down by 1 to 2%. Interesting. Interesting. This is a nerf, I think, overall. But it depends on what gear you run. If you run a lot of presence modifiers, then this might wind up being a buff. But 990, that's 1.5% damage. So it's a nerf to this skill. Off now triples the status effect proc chance of the attack and causes the ability cost to be refunded when hitting an off-balance enemy, rather than adding a stacking bleed. Rarely got the stacking bleed. Like you'd get like one bleed, perhaps. Tripling the status proc chance. A buff? I don't. Not sure actually. I don't think it is. Morph now increase your weapon spell damage by... Oh, there's no bleed at all. Okay, it's a nerf. Definitely a nerf. The bleed was about the same as hemorrhage. But you could get that and hemorrhage from the burp. Not on repentance, stress. Rest in peace warden damage. Yeah, this is like kinda unwarranted. Guess me. This also pigeonholes wardens into not building for like onslaught, for example. To get armor pen from your passives. Already 25k pen on my Magden. Well, you can have more. Screaming Cliff Razor. This morph now increases your weapon spell damage by 100 for 10 seconds. After hitting an enemy and increased by an additional 200 when hitting an off-balance enemy. Pattern increasing its damage by up to 15% based on distance of... This is a nerf too, what the fuck? Bonus weapon spell damage is tracked separately, so you do not need to worry about losing bonus when hitting an enemy that is no longer off-balance. They could have kept the distance, like they give Nightblade a 300 buff with concealed. After leaving sneak or invisibility while in combat, which is every fucking 3 seconds for most Nightblades. So you just get straight up 300. Warden spammable, which by the way never lands because people fucking dodge roll. You have to hit someone who's off balance. You have to hit a delayed ability on someone who's off balanced to get 300. I really don't get it. Nightblade spam plus bad though, no one uses it. Yeah. Wait for Arctic, did they nerf it again? Going back and adjusting the morph distinction of these abilities by helping them focus on different areas where we feel Warden can struggle. The author damage over time adjustments cutting dive was creating situations where there was no answer to deal with the ramping bleed. What? And the synergy with bleed sets was enabling specialized builds to bleed over the top. What game are they fucking playing? Instead, we've reinforced the focus of sustain versus overall pressure with the new morphs, where cutting dice refund can help cut through targets repeatedly with ease, and Screaming Cliff Razor's passive power-ups helps more magical focused wardens make up for some of the lacking damage. What? Where are these builds? Bleed pill, yeah, it was really too OP. Yeah, the annoying OP bleed dance. The fuck? So they nerfed a stacking bleed that you from a delayed skill that you could dodge all very easily. You could dodge all, you could just wait out the off balance, you could line of sight it, you could cloak it, you could avoid it in so many ways, you could even cleanse it. They thought this was OP. Who the fuck was playing a Bleed Warden? Even, like, who even was playing this? And where is the OP one? I wanna see the OP one. In what fucking universe was cutting dive bleed too strong? What the fuck? I had to stop playing this because when you played these specialized bleed builds, guess what happened? You died in 2 seconds because you had no defense with sets like Bloodrinker. And guess what happened with your spammable? It wasn't cutting dive, it was fucking raining slashes. You got tired of cutting dive getting dodge sold every fucking time. Beaters and stem shock still. Molding every time I got burped. I don't get it. I don't get it. What's wrong with bleed then? Always dying to bleed dance, never to surprise tag? Yeah. Man. Does it play invigorating? Yeah. Probably add a strong bleed effect to surprise tag to balance it with cutting dive. Yeah, this is just nonsense, man. Ability and morphs now also grant 4 seconds of snare and immobilization immunity after activating. Oh, okay. Well, I guess we have a snare removal now. This just makes it even more pepega to play. Like, why would you? You can't run Camo Hunter. You get minor berserk from the skill, and 900 pen. I guess used to be 2% damage. So it kind of restricts your build options. You also can't run minor force because you get major expedition from this, and race against time, like now you also get a snare removal. So this removes 2 skills that you could run on Warden. So you wouldn't have space for them, I guess. But that's what I do at the moment already, and they now make it a snare removal as well. It's actually a good thing. I don't mind this. This is nice. It's a buff to Warden, but they should buff other things about Warden, not this part. Maybe this is fine. You kinda use this for expedition, but you don't really. Overall, like, I think the skill is not overtuned, I guess. Never killed the dev. Bleed then killed me 24/7. Wasn't Organ Soul. Buff Scorch again. Did they? Disability and Smurfs now last for 10 seconds in total, detonating once after 4 seconds. And again 6 seconds after that, right, and only once every 3 seconds. Ah. And it's Smurfs. So 4 seconds and 6 seconds, so there's quite a delay. Reduce the damage by approximately 8%, so it's a small damage nerf. Increase the cost. This morph now reduces the time it takes for each damage event to occur, causing damage to occur after 3 seconds and 5 seconds after that. Okay, you probably still want major and minor breeds, I would say. It is a hunting curse. This is a pretty fucking strong buff, actually. For Magden. This is a really strong buff, offensively. Swarm, it's also easier to sustain, because you cast this once every 8 seconds instead of every 3 seconds. So the 3.2k cost is going to be more manageable on Stamden. It's AoE Haunting Curse, yes. That's strong, it's really strong. Pick it, then go to bed. Then it hits and then you go to bed again. Still a really good buff, you have way too much buffs to keep up. Yeah, I wanna see what they did to the other ones. Swarm, this ability in Smurfs now lasts for 20 seconds, up from 10, decrease damage per tick by 23%. Better Infection Morph, increase the bonus damage on the second cast to 60%, up from 50%, okay. I still... Overall it's still less damage than before. Probably good. Fuck dots. Wild Guardian, the bear from this ultimate and morphs, now attacks once every 2 seconds instead of a mixture of timers. Reduce the damage of the bear's passive attacks by approximately 90%. Increase the cooldown of crossing swipe attack to 8 seconds up from 5, so it better lines up with CC timers as this attack can stun enemies. It never does though, people just walk out of it. Yeah, they nerfed your burps for Genghis. They nerfed your burps. You were too OP. Too powerful. Too many bleeds. And clearly you were using synergizing bleed sets. You were using a specialized build to bleed over the top. So you needed to be nerfed. The activate ability Guardians right now has a 700 millisecond cast time for the bear, not your own cast. So it properly matches up with the attack animation and reduces the desync potential of the attack. So they made this even worse. Feral Guardian, this morph now quintuples 5 times the status chance application of hemorrhaging instead of guaranteeing the effect, to reduce the ease of access of the status without investment into applying it. This morph now also increased the execute scaling of the special activate to 150%. Okay, so we went from the bleed bear to this one once again. We've Eternal Guardian, then bleed bear, and now Eternal Guardian is better again. It's fucking Pepega, but they're both bad outside of duels. Birds OP'd than Surprise Taker. Yeah, really. Bleed then too strong. Nerfed it. Hey, what's up, Jessstream? How you doing? Angry? No, can nerf. There is nerf apparently. We'll get into it. Healing Seed, Budding Seed increased the healing rate of this morph by approximately 3%. Okay, with all of the nerfs to heal over time, so you might actually use Budding Seed as a heal over time. Next patch. Drop the like radiating or vines. Oh, they didn't nerf vines. Nice. This is good. So, you know how I always say that Warden healing kinda sucks compared to other classes? Well, they're nerfing other healing, but they didn't nerf Warden that much. Nature's Grasp is the Capsule's heal. Reduce the healing pratic of this ability and Nature's Embrace by approximately 33%. So this one did get nerfed, but... Winter's Embrace, Arctic Wind. This ability and the Polar Wind morph no longer deal damage over their duration. Healing over time effects now take once every 2 seconds over 10 seconds rather than once every second over 5. Increase the healing pratic to 6% of your max health, up from 2.5. That's pretty strong. That's pretty strong if you have 50k health. Otherwise... Oh, it's every 2 seconds though, so almost the same. It's just a small buff. Morph now causes initial heal and heal over time to target an additional ally rather than only initial heal. Increase the healing over time by 20%. Okay, so it's like 7 to 8% of your max health. Or 8% I think. Oh, 7.2. Okay. Arctic Blast. This morph now causes the initial heal to scale with your highest offensive stats rather than max health. Ah, okay. Now we're talking. This morph now causes heal over time to be converted to damage over time. Morph no longer ranks up in cost reduction. Morph now stands on second and final ticks rather than requiring hitting the same target 5 times in succession. Stun is no longer unblockable. Okay. Let's see how strong the heal is. That's gonna be the determining factor, but you can run this as a stun too. On second tick, that's pretty easy to land, I think. They buffed the socks as well. I think overall there's pretty good changes to Warden. They didn't nerf vines, which is kind of what I was afraid of. Buffs to Lady Thorn Warden. 60k HP isn't toxic. Yeah, any max health Warden, I suppose, but you can also run Arctic Blast because it heals based on the highest offensive stats. So not just max health Warden, but any Warden. By the way, those changes are all for new players, yes. Really. I don't know what's the general opinion, but those patch notes really surprised me in a good way. Didn't see one thing making me upset. Really, there were some kind of shitty ones. Look at the Nightblade ones. And some of the sets they add. And the light and heavy attack changes. But to be honest, I'm more upset about the justification they add for the light and heavy attack changes. We wanna make the game more accessible. We wanna buff the bad players because they're not good enough yet. Dumb down the game so like everyone is on their level. Like that's kind of justification just makes long-term players angry. And they should fucking realize that. Fix numerous visual errors with disability and smurfs. Fixed an issue where the shield could fail to grant its full value when recasting it while it was already active. Okay. Fixed an issue where the third projectile would fail to visually appear in many cases. This move no longer has a 5 millisecond cooldown, as it was allowing the ability to sometimes absorb more than 3 projectiles. Since the projectile limit exists and this morph's damage return is not bound by a duration but rather charges, the cooldown does not need to exist. This does however mean that builds that with multiple projectiles in tandem will feel extreme pain when attacking users with this morph. Can't wait to fight a crushing shock spammer on my Magden. Extreme pain is one way of putting it. This skill, it's already spammable tooltip almost. Now it's 3 spammables hitting you in 1 second, basically, if you cast a crushing shock. Even with just light axe weaving. If you just weave light axe with a spammable, that's 2 projectiles every weave. So you cast the shield, you recast it, and if there was like third projectile, there would be a third thing going off. Just keep recasting it, and people will just kill themselves on this. Increase the amount of armor granted from this passive to 195, 1k per Winter's Embrace skill up from 150 to 500, nice, some extra armor. Increase the duration of this morph to 30 seconds, up from 25. Okay, that's a small increase, maybe they could have increased it a bit more, but... Healing nerf, Polar Wind looks very strong. Yeah, you're not wrong. Just got a build for max health though. Guys, imagine buffing surprise like nerfing bird. Next level of retardedness. Or to prove they don't play their own game. Yeah, that change is kinda bullshit. Kalurian left untouched. Okay, we'll see soon what the set changes are. Overall, Warden still gets buffed, so it's a win, isn't it? Yeah, no, you're right about that. Overall, I would say Warden is in a better place than it is right now. Next patch. Disability and smurfs now tick every 2 seconds over 20 seconds rather than every second over 12 seconds. Increase the cost of this ability to 3800, up from 3200. Increase the damage per tick of this ability including charge by approximately 11%. Increase the cost of this ability to 3500. Why did they nerf this skill so much? Who even runs this? Decrease damage per tick of this morph by approximately 33%. What the fuck? They nerf Molten? They did nerf Molten Whip. That's what you mean. It's now 60% damage instead of 100. There was some, I went over them, but you can check the patch notes. Stronger now? Molten Whip? No, it's not. It deals less burst damage. Way less. Bully. Pretty and smurfs now last for 20 seconds, up from 10. Increase damage per tick by 20%, okay. Now increase the duration of the effect by 10 seconds, up from 4. Wait, this is a big buff if you have Maelstrom Bow. The elastic should hit really fucking hard. Oh. I wonder if they thought about this. No one uses Maelstrom Bow anymore. It could be funny if... Yeah, increase by 143 every time Volley takes. Oh, there's a maximum of 8. Could still do a lot of like big damage for a long duration. Poison Arrow. Disability and smurfs now last for 20 seconds, up from 10. Increase the execute scaling of this morph to 120%, up from 100. Okay. They didn't nerf the damage of Poison Arrow, what? Okay, so they buffed Poison Inject, why? They didn't buff Snipe. They buff poison inject, not snipe. You already skip snipe to run poison injection instead in the current meta. This is kinda dumb. Ability morphs now deal damage every 2 seconds over 20 seconds rather than every second for 10 seconds. Damage per tick approximately by 33%. Increase the damage per tick. People usually walk out of this, so dealing more damage with one tick is probably a good thing. Morph now increase duration of the effects by 10 seconds up from 4. Okay. You can have a blockade down for ages basically. This ability and the destructive reach versions now last for 20 seconds up from 10. Reduce the damage per tick by 25%. Okay. Only a buff for my Magden. It's gonna keep rocking Winterborn for a long time. So you kinda also spam this, so it doesn't matter too much. Destructive Cleanse. Force Cleanse now costs 2700 magicka up from 1300. Cleanse now has a range of 28 meters up from 15. I don't think this is a good thing. I don't think a spammable snare, not snare, root that gives you major maim and minor maim should be castable from 40 meters away. Hey, what's up, Ingerson? Thank you. We did reach the 3000 CP today. Vanguarded from 28 meters. Yeah. Did someone link this to Skyreach already? It's not good. Not good, man. Ability and morphs now hit 4 times over a channel time of 800 milliseconds rather than 5 times over 600 milliseconds. The total damage remains relatively the same over their channel time. Okay. This is probably a nerf in PvP. Having a short channel time is usually better. Or like PV buff, but can be nice with Vanguard. Can be nice with Master Ice stuff too on the back bar, for example. Yes, of cleanse spammers, yeah. These abilities now have completely new animations and visual effects to match their attack cadence. Rapid Strikes Morph. This morph now increases the damage done of the next hit by 5% per stack, up from 3%, resulting in approximately 2.5% more overall damage. Reduce the base cost to 2400 down from 2700. Bloodthirst fixed an issue where the heal from this ability was considered magical rather than stamina based. Twin Slices. This ability and morphs now last 20 seconds up from 10 seconds. Decrease the damage per tick by 25%. Wonder how this works with Master Dual build. Only a buff to Master Dual because you gain more of a buff compared to the base tooltip. Morph now also applies hemorrhaging from the initial hit's damage. Well, it already kinda did. It charged. But I don't think it needed this. I think this is kinda not necessary. Cross Cleanse 28 meters, new item cancelling buffs and Vanguard. Yeah. I know what Skyreach is gonna play next, but fuck's sake, it's gonna be annoying. Even more annoying. This morph now heals anytime the ability deals damage rather than only when the damage over time deals damage. Reduce the healing coefficient to match the damage over time coefficient. Okay, so you can get healing from the direct damage as well. Suppose. Ability and morphs now last for 20 seconds up from 10. Increase the damage per tick of this ability and quick cloak by approximately 7%. Okay. Probably a good thing, because you use this for major evasion. Morph now it's 10 seconds to the duration, up from 4. Deadly Cloak, raise damage per tick of this morph by approximately 41%. Why would you ever pick Deadly Cloak? Why would you ever pick this skill over Quick Cloak? Yeah, I don't get it. Kinda dumb. When healing, this ability and morphs now heal once every 2 seconds, over 10 seconds rather than once every second over 8 seconds. Increase the healing per tick by 100%. Is this the new rapid regen? The big buff. Oh, it's every right, and yeah, it's the same healing basically. 10 seconds to the duration of the effect, up from 4. Longer increase in healing done. You experience this fourth now increase your magical regen by up to 15 for every target healed, stacking up to 20 times. Okay, this is some serving skill. Blade Cloak needed that uptime buff. For real. Yeah, apparently. Quick Cloak just got a crazy buff, Hurricane for everyone. Yes. Basically. Regeneration. Reduce the healing by take of this ability and its moves by 40%. Move now also increase healing done by up to 50% on targets under 100% health. Oh, okay. So radiating regen is ripperody. Rapid regen is still good. It's actually slightly more than before. Or is it actually? Oh, no, it's not. Look. 10,000. Let's say it heals for 10,000. You reduce it by 40%. 6,000. 6,000 plus 50%. Oh, oops, we still got nerfed by 10%. So radiating also got a small nerf to the healing, but still good. It's just every radiating regen build is better off running rapid regen now. Rest in peace, most basic skill in game. Vigor nerf 2, apparently. Vigor may be the new radiating. Let's find out. Wait, Cleave, Carve. I think this change is... I don't think they need to nerf radiating. There's other ways to address cross-healing, but... At least like self-survivability will be fine, I guess. Or healers will be spamming rapid regen, just click this skill multiple times. Most like before in critical situations, radiating got nerfed. Yeah. Did they increase the duration? No. No, they didn't. Carve reduced the damage per tick of this morph's damage over time by approximately 40%. Okay, I don't think they need to do that, but okay. Carve wasn't really the issue for any bleed build. Critical charge Stampede. This morph now ticks every 2 seconds over 20 seconds rather than every second over 15 seconds. Decrease the damage per tick by approximately 33%. Well, even more reason to go crit rush. Already did that on most of my characters. Rapid is the new Vigor, Echoing is the new Radiating. That's so. Find out. Increase the splash damage of this passive to 50 to 100% of damage done with light and heavy attacks, up from 25 to 50%. Okay, it's a pretty big buff to its AoE damage, I guess, but they did nerf light and heavy damage. Kinda depends. Breaking Blow, increased duration of Empower granted to 5, okay, whatever. Resolve, fixed an issue where this passive's bonus armor could fail to contribute to abilities or effects that use physical or spell resistance to scale in many cases, as it was looking at your current target's information to derive its values rather than always your own. I see. 100% splash damage? Yeah, on lights and heavies, but they nerfed heavy attacks, yep. Soul Trap. Ability entity consuming trap morph now lasts for 20 seconds, reduce the damage per tick of all versions of the skill by approximately 23%. This morph no longer reduces damage done per tick of the skill, instead cuts the base duration in half. Interesting. Oblivion's Foe, is that gonna be the new Savage Werewolf? Find out. Infectious Claws. This ability and morphs now last for 20 seconds, up from 10. Reduce the damage per tick by approximately 17%. Claws of Life morph. Reduce the amount of healing based on damage done from this morph to 66% down from 100%, since it can instantly apply in AoE in an area of effect and provides significantly more healing than other morphs of its like. No. You don't need to nerf werewolf healing Trust me, you don't need to nerf werewolf healing. What the fuck is this? They didn't buff anything else. Oh my god. What a bunch of fucking pepegas. This is dumb. They need to like give werewolf more heals, not nerf them. Morph now causes the entire ability to apply disease stage effect rather than only the initial hit. Decay and rot. Oh, okay, so the dot is gonna, yeah, so it's gonna pick Claws of Anguish for dot pressure because the disease is also damage. So it basically doubles the dot damage you get from this set. Yeah, seems about right. But they nerfed the survivability, which is fucking bullshit. They didn't need to do that. Shock of Protection reduced the cost of this ability as morphs to 3800, down from 4600. Ring of Preservation, this morph now heals once every 2 seconds over 10 seconds rather than once every half a second over 8 seconds. Increase the healing per tick by approximately 278%. What the fuck? Tick heal. Oh, it's every half a second. It hasn't like 1k on a good stat build. It's a 3.8k every 2. Oh no, it's not that OP actually. Not that amazing. Don't play werewolf. Werewolf damage is from light and heavy attacks. It's actually from the skills as well, but mostly the bleed from the Berserker morph. It's like 25 to 33% of damage usually. But you gain a lot of damage from the claws. It's an undodgeable spammable basically. The claw, I can maybe show it here. Maybe show it here. So this is the howl, right? Howl is, let's say, 14k tooltip. This one, the claws also have a 10k tooltip. I guess the other morph is slightly less, but that's still spammable damage. Or almost spammable. But it's way more than Shriek, for example. Way more than and then let's say Thief or Carve. Almost spammable. So you use that when people are dodge rolling. And you use the Howl when they're not dodge rolling. Do that 1vx with Dawnbreaker combo? Wait, what can... Oh, the 2/8. Yeah, it's some extra AoE damage. Force double dot and some defile, Ring of Preservation is them healing springs now, basically, I think. Reduce the duration of fear from this morph to 4 seconds at max rank. Okay, well, it's whatever. Who runs Turn Evil? What hefty devstone? I know, right? What's up, Ferment? How you doing? This has some wild changes. Increase the duration of this ability and morphs to 20 seconds up from 15 for the trap and then for the triggered effects. Reduce the damage per tick by 25%. No, it's not worth. No, decouples 10 times the chance of applying hemorrhaging stage effects rather than increasing duration. This means the initial hit will have a 50% chance of applying it rather than 5%, and damage over time will have a 30% chance per tick instead of 3%. Okay, well I don't think people are gonna run that. PV change, yeah, probably. Entropy, increase the duration of this ability and morphs to 20 seconds up from 10. Reduce the damage per tick by approximately 23%. Structured entropy, increase the coefficient of the healing portion of this morph by approximately 9% to match the damage coefficient. Okay. Scalding Rune, increase the duration of this morph's damage over time to 22 seconds up from 12 seconds, reduce the damage per tick by approximately 12%. Okay. Accelerate, increase the base cost of this ability and morphs to 4000 from 3800. Increase the duration of Minor Force Grant to 20 seconds up from 12 seconds. The cost channel activations minor force to triple to 60 seconds now as well, instead of tripling to 36. Okay. Increase the duration of the snare and immobilization immunity 4 seconds up from 2. Okay, well, nice little brace against time buff. Emit almost an entire new game with those changes. Yeah. People quitting every patch, pretty much. Necrotic Orb. This ability and Mystic Orb now deal damage once every 2 seconds over 20 seconds rather than once every second over 10 seconds. Reduce the movement speed of those abilities to 0.6 meters per second, down from 1.5 meters to make them easier to hit targets with. Increase the damage per tick by approximately 28%. Morph now increase health, magic and stamina recovery by up to 100 while it's active rather than increasing the damage down by 20%. Up to 100, amazing. Wow. Energy Orb. This move retains its original duration, movement speed and tick rate. Morph now ticks 1 extra time over its duration, reduce healing per tick by less than 1%. Okay. That'd be pretty good. So this is the new heal over time. Jump the energy orb. Not heal at all. Same. Oh no, it's kinda bad actually. Is the 5k heal per second. This ability and morphs now tick every 2 seconds over 20 seconds rather than every second for 10 seconds. Increase the damage per tick by approximately 3%. Fix an issue where the abilities fail to apply their effects when casted long when under the effects of range and bonuses. Morph now increase the duration of the effect by 10 seconds up from 4. Okay. Ability now lasts for 10 seconds at base up from 8. Reduce the healing per tick of this ability and echo and vigor by approximately 17%. Morph now extends the duration by up to 6 seconds, up from so 16 seconds of echo and vigor. Reduce the healing per tick of this morph by approximately 22%. Yikes. Yikes. Major resolve. Who the fuck cares? You already have a major resolve. Okay, well, rest in peace Vigor. We're gonna have to find some other way to heal up. I don't know how to do that on Stamblade, but hopefully it doesn't involve fucking resto stuff and rapid regen. This is so stupid. My Templar main got changed a lot too, a total rework of jabs and burning light. Yeah, overall I think the Templar changes aren't too bad. Like it kind of allows for more builds when you can proc the burning light with different things, but they buff jabs I think overall. You need to land less jabs to do the full damage, and Weaving is gonna be a bit more consistent with the sweep and jab changes. I think this one is not a... Well, the healing nerf to functional sweeps is kinda not necessary. They shouldn't have done that, but... Cost reduction and... jabs doing more AoE damage. 3 times having to land 3 hits instead of 4, that's probably a buff. The burning light change is gonna affect the DPS though. Don't leave us before we get trifecta Watch of Sacrifice. You could back spammable orb instead of one. Healthy Offering and Dark Cloak? Fuck Dark Cloak. I fucking hate that skill. I have a Nightblade with it, but if I wanna play the Invis class of the game, like I wanna play the Invis class, you know. Healthy Offering, you have a burst heal, you don't have a heal over time anymore. They kinda nerfed the Dark Cloak healing as well, I think, for most Nightblade builds, unless you play like a really high max health. Vigor change is literally Stamblade buff. You know the class wants Major Resolve? No it's not, you already get Major Resolve. You passively get Major Resolve from casting Cloak or Surprise Attack. You don't need to slot a skill for it even. For 6 seconds? Yeah, after casting Cloak or Surprise Attack. So it's up all the time. It's fucked up. I think this is a terrible change. Did it forever, even on defense, but when you're on defense, you're spamming Cloak. If you're not spamming Cloak, you're not on defense. If you're not spamming Surprise Attack or Cloak, you're not on offense either. The class revolves around that. Yeah, yeah. Okay, fix an issue. Warfare, Force of Nature, reduce the amount of penetration to 660. Down from 900, that's probably good, it was pretty overtuned. Some stage effects such as Shield. The named buff provided from the stage effect was overridden by a longer duration version. Passive now increase light and heavy attack damage by 4% per stage, up from 3%. Probably gonna be garbage. Probably really bad. I wonder how Overload works next patch. Light axe. It's actually probably pretty damn good when you think about it. Right now Overload is it replaces your light attack, right? Your light attack damage is already pretty good. You gain less value from Overload. Now if your light attacks do like half the damage, then you get more value from Overload. So it's an overall damage buff as well. What they're doing. Companions, okay, we can skip that. Ravage health potions, fix an issue where this potion affix was not correctly labeled as proc, could trigger many sets or events that sector for dealing damage. They nerf Onion again, what the hell? All these Onion nerfs. Fix no defense. I think it will. Makes Overload a lot more enticing ulti choice for Sork. Especially Max Sork. Trust rate. Reduce this rate's maximum value to 365 down from 480. This is probably good. Trust is it's a little overtuned. Since buff this rate has eclipsed the niche category it was part of. No shit. Where it was beating out other traits even if you were only using 2 stage effects. The new value should now have this trait be much closer in power to others when using 2 stage effects, with the potential to still eclipse them when using more. Yeah, and I think this makes Heartland better. If you double this, then it's still guaranteed stage effects. Most things. Grand Rejuvenation. This set now restores 24 Magicka and Stamina 4 times over 6 seconds, rather than 20 Magicka and Stamina 5 times over 4 seconds. Okay. Message Charge. This set now deals its damage every 2 seconds over 10 seconds, rather than every 1 second over 8 seconds. Reduce the damage done by approximately 25%. Nice. I think this is very warranted. This set now increased the damage of your light axe by 2050 while active, rather than 55%. No, though, this is bad. The uptime is not good enough, even if it increased the attack speed. On BTS now? Yes, all of this is on BTS. Should be up. Iron Blood. This set now grants major protection, major ages, minor protection for 10 seconds when it activates. Rather than reducing your damage taken by unique 30%. Wait, this is a PvE buff. The fuck? They turned this into a PvE set? Good for people actually brawling, but if you're brawling then you have surprise attack. You're stunning with that. Even if you're on defense, like you want to stun people with surprise attack. Always come with me on Hello Kitty Scroll Online. Make the combat more accessible now, you won't have to spam mouse button 1 to get DPS. Onion was already so sad, I know, right? Deserved nerf of. Want to spam pink heart at people. Hey, what's up, Fizzy? What do you think will be flavor of the month after patch Nightblade? I still need to go through the patch notes. If they don't nerf Oaken, people say they nerfed Oaken, so maybe not, but otherwise it would still be Oaken PK probably. But maybe even Stamblade. Maybe Magpla. Magpla is looking really good. With the Burning Light proccing from dots and stuff. Pretty strong. When we did the 25% down from 50, this doesn't matter. Based on minor balance patch last year, we intentionally left this set alone to try and make sure the curse aspect of the set was justified. We've seen this set enable far too much mitigation with not enough penalty. I don't agree with this. Like, I've run Ironblood, you still fucking die the moment 4 people to focus you in BGs. Like, you can have Ironblood, you can have Sea Serpent, you can be a fucking Swordmount Templar, spamming heals with every heal all the time up, standing in your rune inside a circle, and one stem shot can almost out DPS your damage. I don't think Ironblood was overdue, because it completely removes the option of running away. Like, you're so fucking slow. I think next patch overall is gonna be a mobility patch. Like, they nerfed the dodge right, which is a counter to mobility usually. So what's gonna be important is having as much movement speed as possible so you can line of sight the direct damage. Ironblood Trials said, yeah. That's what they did basically. Or maybe you run the major ages as a dummy buff. For the new set they added that purges buffs. So it purges the major ages and then there's no downside basically. It is also good for PvP. Yeah, because of the new set, right? Versus just 2H nerf 2, rest in peace 2H and PvE. They nerf pretty much everything. Not gonna lie, looks nice on DKs and no CP. Wait, which one? Rest in peace Jabs? Why do you say that? Jabs got more AoE damage, right? Less burning light procs, but you can proc it with dots now. But people try to like line of sight and fight you as a Templar. The reflective light or whatever dots you have will keep them taking damage, so the burning light or purifying light is more likely to go for the full value. Back to Maelstrom bow meta in PvE. I don't mind that. That's the last meta I remember. It's when I played PvE more seriously. Oaken was buffed. Oh no, don't say that. Noble Dual Strikes. This set now increases your damage done with light and heavy attacks against monsters by 2110. Threaten increase in their weapon and spell damage scaling, since they don't have any scaling. Okay, I can decom this set. Yay, inventory space. Who the fuck cares about some PvE light and heavy attack damage? If you have this set golded out next patch, you're a toxic casual. Yeah, that's what this set turns you into. You're one of those people who hold down left mouse button and they wanna have the best DPS in the game by doing that. So I'm gonna decon this set. Against monsters, yes, this doesn't work in PvP at all. So dumb. Savage Beowulf, this item set not only procs of light attacks when you are within melee range of your enemy, instead of light or heavy attacks from any range. This set now ticks once every 2 seconds instead of 1 to reduce situations where it could tick twice instantly. Note that it still continues to tick instantly upon application, which is intended. Interesting, they didn't nerf the damage, so this is gonna be very strong on melee builds, but get fucked range builds with Savage Beowulf. Get fucked. Including my own stem shock, yes, I know. Good fucking riddance. That's a trade secret of proccing off each light or heavy attack instantly, while intentional has created situations where it can produce some pretty oppressive results when utilized from ranged or with channeled heavy attacks. Rather than harming the intended synergy of the set with light attack focused builds, we've restricted it to only affect the intended build types instead. Keep in mind that this set can still proc off range focused light attacks such as bows or staves, as it requires you to be within melee range when attacking rather than outright exclude those weapons. Golded out my Savage Wolf like a donkey last week. Hold on, I'm gonna log in a moment. Once we're done with the patch notes, I'll make you feel better. Once you see how many pieces I have. I'm gonna have to decon all of those. Well, not decon, I might run it on some melee build, but... I like some of the ideas of this patch, but the balance looks horrible. Yeah, I don't like the healing nerfs at all. Didn't they want to nerf light and heavy attacks, so 50k plus one-shot build from Luca today? Yeah, there's a lot of them at the moment. More heavy attack build. They changed heavy attack set to what they were before, yes, but only in PvE, like only against monsters apparently. Sergeant's Mail. This set has been reworked to now grant you a stack of Sergeant's Focus for 5 seconds. Whenever you deal damage with a heavy attack, increase the damage of your heavy attacks by 645 per stack. This effect can occur once every half a second and stacks up to 4 times. This is not good. This is not good news. Moving the focus of the set to be on any heavy attack to aid in the flexibility and use case of the set, so that more builds can engage with it, while also reducing its potential as front-loaded burst set. Here's the problem. 2580, right? This is every lightning heavy beef. 10.3k tooltip. Once you're stacked up. And this one works in PvP. There's no restriction of dealing damage to monsters. How many meters is melee range? I believe it's 5 meters. Last patch was the horror jabs, basically. Only skill 10 plus use. Why rest in peace jabs? Only 3 out of 4 damage is 1 tick less plus 21% single target nerf as well. Yes, but you can cast the skill again after the cast ends, right? And right now there's a 1 second cooldown on skills, right? So if you just spam in jabs, you will deal the same damage as before. Like the skill is faster than before. It deals the like less damage over the duration, so that's the 21% nerf basically, because it has less duration. They didn't nerf the damage, but the burning light passive, like, it will poke less often. Doesn't mail is nonsense. How can I hit heavy attack once every half a second? Lightning heavy attacks or resto heavy attacks. Missed your opinion on DKs, got it. Is it true? No, not necessarily. I think DK is gonna be fine even after these nerfs as well. Also, what's up, Rayo? How you doing? Planning a rest tick like 4 times in 1 second? Yes. 1 point. Hold on, I have a little thing. Lightning stuff is 1.8 seconds, rest of stuff is 1.3 seconds. The channel duration. Armor, so not too bad. Wasn't about to farm Moonhunter keep for weapons, right? These patch notes. Hold left like I hold left click, yes. I'm a little bit worried about that with Sergeant's Mail. 60k SP Lady Thornden. Yeah, you don't actually need to build for stats at all next patch. You can go max health, Sergeant's Mail, and hold down left mouse button. You 10k tooltip damage every weave, or every heavy attack. And there's more sets like this. Like you can run Sergeant's Mail with the they nerfed Infiltrator on Weaver. They're also against monsters, so I can just decon them. But there's one more set, actually 2 more. The Infallible Eater, and there's a set called Storm Master, which also applies to everything. This is 1600 on every tick. I think this is gonna be broken. Stormmaster and Sergeant's Mail. Cavalry is fine, no nerfs needed. Clearly. They should nerf Cavalry as well. I agree. Did you pass class changes, Desi? I did. What's up, Sekabet? How you doing? Some dumb changes like the Nightblade ones. Fixed the issue where the set's damage was probably not increasing with AoE augmenting effects. Okay. Oaken Soul. This set now grants minor versions of Courage, Berserk, Force, Protection, Heroism rather than major versions. This set now also grants minor mending. Nice. I'm happy. Good. They nerfed something that was fucking overtuned as hell. So we had our fun. We're gonna have fun for the next few weeks, but we had our fun with the Oaken DK. I'm happy I didn't make a build video for it because it would be very short-lived. Lots of effort for a build that works for one patch. This is good. The original intent of this set was to improve accessibility of one-bar builds. Again, the word accessibility. They really like their accessibility. By providing many bonuses that you would get from running extra abilities on your back bar, and a few other sources that may come from coordinated groups. Yeah, because everyone plays coordinated group, right? Especially in PvP. To make up for the flexibility and specialization loss of having 5 ability choices instead of 10. While we did see the suggestions we're incorporating now, we didn't want to go too hard on the set after the heavy nerfs of the original form. I did the comparison on stream. The original version, the original form, was more balanced than Major Force, Major Courage and Major Berserk. I did that on live. I checked it on Build Editor because it had the old version. I saw the effective weapon power go up when clicking on all of these buffs. It went fucking up, it didn't go down. They buffed it. They buffed the damage from Oaken. And they added the fucking Major Heroism as well, which it didn't have in the first place. How the fuck did they nerf it? Without some more concrete metrics and evidence which we have gathered since update 34 launched. Oh, they could have just listened to the players, you know? They could have just listened to the players. I said during the fucking PTS, this is gonna be overpowered. I can't believe it launches and then it launches like that. We now feel comfortable that the set will still be incredibly impactful for its target audience, but in a much more balanced way. Good. And so what is one bar build? Mythic made for PvP and disabled in PvP. Hey, there's some one bar PvPers too. Very skilled individuals. Fucking so. Build it for PvE. Really not happy. Did they though? Like it's still a good set, right? You don't have those buffs. All its buffs are minor instead of major now, or just the listed ones? Just the listed ones, I think. You still get the major resolve and major prophecy and those things. People bought expensive for nothing. There's my refunsos. Yeah. Mythic made for PvE, then in PvP wasn't even a thing. Made Oaken and became a thing. Yeah. Pretty much. Love the concrete metrics, and you literally saw it on stream with just raw numbers. Yeah. Yeah, all you have to do is put it in Build Editor. You can say which one does more damage because there's calculators and algorithms and that. Oh well, Dark Convergence increased the cooldown of this set to 25 seconds up from 15 to help reduce the frequency in which it can introduce ultimate-like effects on the battlefield. Oh, okay. Okay, I think you already guessed it like every 25 seconds because you have to build up your Colossus. I don't think the free CC mid is that impactful. This is kinda pointless. Combined with Trickery? Yeah, you can run Trickery now with Oaken, but Is it good? Probably not. Not OP at least. Good perhaps, but OP no. The nerf now it grants major and minor of all buffs, yeah, pretty much. Sets damage can no longer be blocked. Interesting. I was thinking of running Rot Count Stem, so instead of the Bay of Fire. More bursty. Plague Break, this set now has a cooldown of 20 seconds per target, threatened only against targets that do not already have the dot on them. Ooh. This is yeah, this is a pretty big nerf to Plague. Can now proc on multiple enemies from single attack. No, I think the cooldown kind of fucks it up. It depends. Nerf and above, but mostly a nerf. Reduce the damage over time by approximately 48%, but this damage can now critically strike as it does not have ingrained modifiers built into it. Increase the damage of the explosion by approximately 3%. The damage from this set now always applies the disease stage effect. Okay, I mean the damage is gonna be the same because you get the guaranteed deceased, but they didn't actually nerf the damage. This set has been run in far too many situations outside of its target audience. This set was made to punish groups that are stacking purges in tight groups, but due to the current nature of the set, it is punishing those who aren't using cleanses, either as the dot is dealing sizable damage and has no downtime. And that's why it's so strong. If they introduce a downtime of 20 seconds or 10 seconds, so that's 10 second duration, then it's nerfed. It's nerfed for most scenarios. Cooldown window, we hope to introduce more counterplay to the set by giving a window of safety from becoming a carrier again for a time, while still retaining the pain for those who are purging or dying too close together. Okay, it's probably a good change. Explosion still can't crit. They could make it crit, I don't care about the explosion too much. Just the like non-stop, constant reapplied dots that are problematic. Trial sets. Oh, okay. Is that it? Is that all the patch notes? Okay, we made it through the patch notes. Yikes! That was a lot of shit. What do I think? What do I think overall? I think the light and heavy changes, the justification they gave for them is fucking nonsense. There was no reason for it. I think there's some pretty broken sets. It's gonna be on Nightblade, major vulnerability. After a heavy deck, and guess what? You can combo it with the new PvP set that purges buffs from the target, which is totally not gonna be broken, by the way. Like, surely won't be super annoying to fight against. We will run Nocturnal Exploit with the new heavy deck set on Nightblade, which is gonna be the meta. They buff surprise deck for no fucking reason. And yeah, we're just gonna delete people with that. Sounds good. Patch notes done, pretty much. I have to bring up the good change too, though. Like, there are some good things. Some of these sets are pretty interesting. I actually like the... I don't like the bird set. Yeah, I don't like that at all. But this one's interesting. The monster mask, it just depends on the tooltip. I think the other monster mask probably overtuned as hell, but would be very, very good on Templar. The DK changes are good. Nerfing the dot damages, good. Nerfing heals, bad, because I don't know what to do about it. Like, I don't want to run resto stuff on Nightblade. Do you think it's a good patch for Nightblade? I don't play in Olympics, because I don't want to play the meta class. Nightblade's probably gonna be meta after these changes, but I don't want to be playing it if it's the meta. I don't want to be playing the meta.